What else you get?
They got a bicycle. They got a remote. I'm gonna play this remote.
Ooh.
And they got a
What else? What else? What else?
a car race car.
And what's the last gift you got?
This is the car race car. Oh, bike.
Greetings, comrades. Welcome to All Power to the People podcast on Grown Folks Talking, Express Yourself Internet Radio via the Huddle Team app. We meet every Sunday at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. We discuss local, national, and global events that impact the material conditions of the people and provide viable solutions. We are here to find those tired of the way their lives are socially constructed. As Panthers, we use dialectic materialism. As Dr. Huey P. Newton stated, power is the ability to define phenomena and make it act in a desired manner. From combating the housing crisis to police patrols, we are the vanguard in place to serve our communities. The purpose of this program is to highlight contradictions in the electoral process, which Western culture calls politics. Politics is the struggle for resources. Participating in America's electoral process has only taken resources from the people and handed it to the oligarchs and the professional managerial class that serve them by maintaining the status quo through coercion. We know that power lies with the people, and it is our duty to organize and educate the community so that they can fight for their own liberation. So please, join us every Sunday at 12 p.m. You can join by downloading the Huddle Team app, join online, or call in. The app and joining online is free, but if you call in, standard messaging rates may apply. Links to the show will be provided in the caption. This is General Secretary Patience of the new Afrikan Black Panther Party, NAB PP North. All power to the people.
I'll be having conversation with people, and they'll be like, so what do we do? What is our option? How do we change our material condition? How do we change the reality around us? I mean, you can't do that. This is from our food program. I mean, so that's why I'm starting off like this, to show everybody like the things that you could do in the community. As Panthers, we come together in North to get this food to go out and give to the families that are starving. We all know, if we live in these communities, we know how hard times are. We are all going through it. We eat the same food too. We take the food in our home and we put them in our bellies. This is our during the school year, all year round. We don't have enough money to go build a school to be able to bring in all these children and stuff. We don't have all of that. But we can create an after-school program. And this is one of the ways we bring the kids in with the after-school program so they could come in for us to give them that knowledge, to teach them, and try to help guide them through this reality, through this world. Hey, yo, you say they teach you about 9/11 in school?
Yeah.
What they teach you about 9/11? Why did the plane hit the buildings? You got to say it loud enough so I can hear you.
The Muslim airjacked the plane and then they crashed shit into the Twin Towers.
That's what they taught you, that the Muslims hijacked the plane?
They didn't talk.
That's okay. That's okay. Relax.
The plane crashed into the Twin Towers.
But why did they crash into the Twin Towers? They didn't. Anybody? Hey, what you were saying, Major?
I also know that they crashed into the woods.
Hold up. Let Major speak. What'd you say, Major?
My teacher told me that there was hijackers on a plane, and then when they crashed it, left the plane, and there was more hijackers on the other plane, and they crashed into that. That's what Towers again.
But why did they crash into the Twin Towers?
Because they wanted to go to New York.
So they crashed into the Twin Towers to go to New York. They died to go to New York.
They wanted to go. The hijackers wanted to go to New York, but they crashed into the Twin Towers.
Oh, they wanted to go land in New York, but they crashed in the Twin Towers. So anybody else got saying to add? Archie, you got saying to add?
I know.
What you want to add?
That
other planes got hit, got airjacked, and then they crashed into different places.
That's it?
Yeah.
So nobody can tell me why the planes crashed? Why the planes did that? Nobody can tell me? But don't you think the school should tell you why?
Yes. Yeah.
So like if the school not telling you why, what does that mean?
They keep it secret.
Wow.
Oh, gatekeeping.
Whoa, where you get gatekeeping from, bro?
I said gates.
But where you learn that at?
TikTok.
You say me? you
said
burnt.
TikTok.
You burnt out, yo. You burnt out. Nah, but the reason why they crashed into the into the Twin Towers is because the American government, America was going to their country, taking their natural resources, stealing their stuff, killing their people. So they got mad. They stole a plane and they came and crashed it on the World Trade Center to get back at America. That's why they did it.
So it wasn't two planes then?
No, it wasn't one plane. I think it was 2 or 3. Was it? I think it was one. Was no? I think there was one in DC and there was one in Philly or something like that.
So
that did.
Two inside the Twin
Yeah,
Towers.
huh?
So I basically got it right then. There was
What
two
did-
inside the Twin Towers, and then another one tried to crash into the place that Trump lives in.
The Trump Tower? There ain't no plane try to go to the Trump Tower. The White House?
The White House.
Did the plane try to go to the White House?
No, the Pentagon. I think that's
The plane, one went to the Pentagon. But
Something like that.
But these people be lying. The media be lying. The politicians be lying. So you never know what's true. But why they really did it, they said because America was going over to their countries and they were killing their people. They were taking their resources and they were putting military bases in their country. So that's why they did it. I mean, that's why they went over there and did it and stuff. They call that blowback. Like when you go to another country and you do stuff to them and then they come back over here and do something, like they call that blowback.
it's like get back.
Yeah, it's like get back.
They should have did more.
So imagine another country.
You said they should have did more?
They should have nuked them.
Then we gonna die. If they nuke us, we gonna die. I don't wanna die.
What if we wasn't alive at that time?
But we're going to continue this later, y'all. I'm going to holler at y'all. We're going to continue later. This is our summer basketball camp. It's going on right now. Every day from 9 to 1. We have this basketball camp that that the kids come out. Yo, it's all about organizing and finding ways to bring people out, bring the children out to be able to organize them. I mean, when you doing these things to bring the children in, to bring the community in, yo, you got to be serious. You can't be playing around with this. Yo, like when the kids come here, at the end of the summer, they're stronger, they're faster, they're quicker, and they know more about the game, about the sport than they did before. You know, we watch their minds develop every day. While we're talking about Pantherism, what do we do? What are the solutions? Yo, there's solutions here. I mean, the solutions is organizing our own community, creating an economic base where we can be able to feed ourselves, take care of ourselves without having to bow down to somebody else, without having to beg somebody else for our humanity. Yo, I refuse to go beg anybody to give me humanity. I will take my humanity by force. I understand I am not free. We understand we are not free as Panthers. There's no doubt in our mind if we are free or not. And you cannot hold anybody that's under oppression, that's under neocolonialism, responsible for how their life turned out, because they control no institution. I mean, I often hear people say, like, the drug dealers, the worst thing in our community is drug dealers, because they're stupid. They're ignorant. They haven't educated themselves to understand the world around them. So they just open their mouth and regurgitate whatever they heard somebody else say. You're a fool. If you believe anything out here is your fault or our fault. Seriously. And I'm telling you, I work with the community all day and all night. And I know how ignorant the community can be. But I don't blame the people for the conditions they find themselves in. They have nothing to do with how anything is done materially in this world. They're just bystanders. The people that I hold accountable is those that know, the intellectuals. That's supposed to know better, but continue to usher our people into institutions of white supremacy, of imperialism, that will continue to exploit us. Tell our people to go vote. What are you voting for? I mean, who are you voting for? Who do they serve? They don't serve the people. They won't serve the people, or they won't survive in those institutions.
It's your phone. It's my song.
Which your son? Get some from him. Get some. Let me see. Hold it out, Bobby. Mira. Hold it out. Let me see. Yeah. Hold up. You got it? You like it? There we go. There we go.
Wait, take you.
You're welcome. What's your name?
My name is Panther.
What position you play?
Like this.
Oh, pitcher. You're the pitcher. You're a pitcher. Your children out here?
No. I'm
No.
just watching.
Oh, you just watching? You just watching too?
Like
My name Afrika. Africa. Yeah, the continent. Yeah, continent. Hold up. Huh? Yeah. I'll come every year. I'll bring more stuff. I'll come. I'll bring everything every year. Yeah, we just started. We're coming with the organization. The organization,
New African Black Panther
Party. So the Black Panther Party. So look, no politician, no rich person will take care of us. The only people that are going to take care of us is us. If we understand that all we need to do is take care of each other, we're going to be good. Yeah. So you notice how all the companies, all the stores is owned by the gringos, Canada, Switzerland. We need to own it. We need to own everything so soon. You need to own stuff so soon. You need to own Bailey's. You need to own Roomba. Yeah, we need to own all of that shit. Not nobody else. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah, man. But that's why I'm here. Everything we do is free. Everything is free. You don't pay. Yeah, you don't pay for nothing. I mean, this is my guy here. This is my guy, Subi. You know Subi? Yeah, this is my guy. He helped me out down here. I've been with this company for about 7 years, but it's been here since 1969. I'm the leader of the company. I'm the leader now of the organization. Yeah. So we come down. He's gonna be down here working down here in the organization for me. Yeah, he's gonna be here working here.
Also, do you visit Puerto Plata?
Yeah, Puerto Plata everywhere. I go everywhere. I stayed in.
I'm from Puerto Plata.
So you want to help me do this in Puerto Plata? I'm about to cut off the camera and I'm about to take your number. We're going to do the same thing. You know, the person that run the baseball, he helping me too.
I live next to a baseball.
Man, what's your name, man? Tell them your name, man.
My name is Brian. I'm teacher of natural science.
Natural science?
Natural science.
Oh my God, I'm hitting a home run everywhere I go, man. Bobby, mira. Good? You good? There we go. Biology? My God. Now, we come here every Sunday to talk about what we're going to do about the conditions we're dealing with. This stuff we're complaining about in all our communities. How do we solve these issues? I mean, we had a meeting in the city yesterday. Was it yesterday? Poppy, was it yesterday?
I think it was yesterday.
Yo, these days go by fast, yo. You said it was yesterday's Patience?
I think, no, it was day before yesterday.
It was Friday?
I believe so.
Yeah, it was Friday. Yo, we be doing so much. This day just like, they just blend in. I had the same conversation with Dr. Calfani on Friday. But anyway, on Friday night, a couple of people met. We met at the Water Coalition on South Orange Avenue in Newark to talk about what are the solutions. That's what the title of it was, basically. What are we going to do? I wish I had more time to stay there so I could to talk to people, to try to see if we could really try to start something then, that night. Because I'm tired of going to these different events where they say come out, have a rally for this, have a rally for that, but then everybody leave. And then, like, nothing is accomplished. There's no mandate. There's nothing to be done. Everybody just go home and everybody feel good because they came out. Ain't nobody got time for that no more. I mean, so we come here, we learn, we read. Look, we're going through the Philadelphia Negro. We're reading the Philadelphia Negro to understand the climate, how they dealt with this system back then with imperialism. I mean, we on chapter 9. We're going to chapter 10 today, but we read it and then we make a comparison to today, to what's going on in our communities today, and which path to follow. Oh, today's show is very interesting, very interesting. We're going to cover a few different topics. But this morning, one of the comrades sent me something, and it kind of made us change everything around. I changed the whole show around based on the question that he asked me. I still got the same set that I was going to use, but I basically flipped it around. I'm going to explain to you when we get there. But I'm about to start the Philadelphia Negro. If you haven't been here, we're on chapter 9, going into chapter 10. In this chapter, he's going to talk about the jobs that black people had. And when he go into chapter 10, he's going to start talking about our health issues, our health concern. Why do we die quicker than white people? I mean, but let me go into it. Anything want to pop up on the screen today?
Dear Negro, Chapter 9, History of Occupations, Section 24, History of the Occupations of Negroes. There early arose in the colony of Pennsylvania the custom of hiring out slaves, especially mechanics and skilled workmen. This very soon roused the ire of the free white workmen, and in 1708 and 1722, we find them petitioning the legislature against the practice and receiving some encouragement therefrom.
Yeah, but remember, he said in 1708. He's going back all the way to the 1700s, because you know in our history books, slavery ended in America when? In 1860 something, 1850, whatever they say slavery ended. You see, I don't respect those dates. I don't even try to remember those dates anymore in my mind, because slavery has not ended. We're still catching the same hell. It's just masked differently. But be that as it may, he's talking about the 1700s, where they used to try to lease slaves out to go work for different people as mechanics and stuff like that. But the people in the town wasn't with it. I mean, it's all about economics. The free white people were not cool with leasing out slaves, because a slave is a slave. They're supposed to be there working on the plantation. They're not supposed to be taking my job. So, like, if you can, it'll take notes. This stuff is important, because the same issues they're dealing with then is the same issues we're dealing with now. It's just different. Because back then, the immigrants that they were really talking about were people fleeing from slavery. Yeah, you see, you got to be here from chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3 to understand like how they saw black people, how black people saw themselves back then. I mean, like when you're listening to Du Bois, see, every time I'm talking, like if new people are here, I have to go all the way back, explain Du Bois, like try to give people a vision. You know, I don't really feel like doing it today, keeping it above. I don't feel like doing it. But like from Du Bois' perspective, from where he was coming from, the people that was fleeing from slavery, that were running up, coming up to Philadelphia, coming up to Virginia, coming up to Boston, coming up to all these different places, looking for freedom, you know, they were seen as immigrants. See, they talk about people coming from South America now. That's all that's in the media. People coming from South America. Well, they talk about the Somalis now too. They're starting to talk about the black people. But all this language, the way we see other people, the way we see others, none of this stuff is new. I mean, so I wish, if you haven't been here from the first week, like go back. It's on YouTube. All of this. Hold on, wait, is this on YouTube? Nah, we are on Grown Folk Talking. General Secretary, where the prior shows at?
On YouTube.
Oh, they're on YouTube too?
Yeah.
All power to the people. Let me keep playing this. Playing it.
As long, however, as an influential class of slaveholders had a direct financial interest in black mechanics, they saw to it that neither law nor prejudice hindered Negroes from working. Thus, before and after the Revolution, there were mechanics as well as servants among the Negroes.
No, but listen to that. As long as like the masters and stuff made money, like nobody could stop them from leasing these people out. As long as they made money. As long as the people that were in control of the society made money, that were in control of the institutions, as long as they made money, they were profiting from it, there was no problem with leasing them out.
The proportion of servants, however, was naturally very large. We have no figures until 1820, when of the 7,582 Negroes in the city, 2,585, or 34%, were servants. In 1840, 24% were servants. Some of these servants represented families, so that the proportion of those dependent on domestic service was larger even than the percentage indicated. In 1896, in the Seventh Ward, the percent of servants using the same method of computation was 27.3%. Of those not servants, the Negroes themselves declared in 1832 that, notwithstanding the difficulty of getting places for our sons as apprentices to learn mechanical trades, owing to the prejudices with which we have to contend, there are between 400 and 500 people of color in the city and suburbs who follow mechanical employments. In 1838, the investigator of the Abolition Society found 997 of the 17,500 Negroes in the county who had learned trades, although only part of these, perhaps 350, actually worked at their trades at that time. The rest, outside the servants and men with trades, were manual laborers. Many of these mechanics were afterward driven from the city by the mobs. In 1848, another study of Negroes found the distribution of the Negroes as follows. Of 3,358 men, 21 years of age and over, of 4,249 women, 21 years and over, there were. Of both sexes, 5 to 20 years of age, there were. Besides these, there were in white families 3,716 servants. Just how accurate the statistics of 1847 were, it is now difficult to say. Probably there was some exaggeration from the well-meant effort of the Friends of the Negro to show the best side. Nevertheless, it seems as though the diversity of employment at this time was considerable, although, of course, under such heads as shopkeepers and traders, street stands more often than stores were meant. In 1856, the inquiry appears to have been more exhaustive and careful, and the number of Negroes with trades had increased to 1,637, including barbers and dressmakers. Even here, however, some uncertainty enters, for less than 2/3 of those who have trades followed them. A few of the remainder pursued other avocations from choice, but the greater number are compelled to abandon their trades on account of the unrelenting prejudice against their color. The following table gives returns. In the light of such historical testimony, it seems certain that the industrial condition of the Negro in the last century has undergone great vicissitudes, although it is difficult sometimes to trace them. A diagram something like this will possibly be best represent the historical development for a century. Such a diagram must, of course, be based largely upon conjecture, but it represents as nearly as the data allow the proportionate, not the absolute, extent to which the Negroes of the city are represented in certain pursuits. In the half-century, 1840 to 1890, the proportion of Negroes who are domestic servants has not greatly changed. The mass of the remainder are still laborers. Their opportunities for employment have been restricted by 3 causes: competition, industrial change, color prejudice. This competition has come in later years from the phenomenal growth of cities and the consequent hardening of conditions of life. The Negro has especially felt this change because of all the elements of our urban population. He is least prepared by previous training for rough, keen competition. The industrial changes since and just before the emancipation of the slaves have had a great influence on their development, to which
Hey, yo, I gotta stop it there, cause like we have to draw this line. Cause like, remember, I know you hear the General Secretary talking, but this is the writings of Du Bois. This is Du Bois' own words, and he's saying about competition, about entering the workforce. And you have to remember that he's being paid to write this. He's being paid to write this by the Quakers, the people who control the society at that time. So what he writes is basically filtered through what they would accept because they're paying him. To keep comparing black people in 1896, in the 1800s, in the whatever, to keep comparing them to white people as if they're citizens, to even give the idea, to give people the notion to even think that they can compete, they're even on the playing field, is treacherous in itself. It's a bastardization of everything that he's supposed to have went to school to learn. Your black people are not free. They couldn't enter this society, and there's no fairness, there's no equality. They can't compete with these people, with anybody. They have no rights. There's a whole system that's been put in place to make sure they do not compete. And I'm not talking about 1896. I'm talking about now, till today. You see, these are the myths that we have to dispel in our communities, within the people. That there's equality. That you can make it based on what you know, on your shared knowledge of whatever field you want to go in. That's not what we're living through. Remember, I told you, we're dealing with the conditions outside as they are, not as people claim they are, not as we've been socialized to believe they are. I mean, so even there, right there, where he's saying for them to go compete, like these people just came out of slavery, from like bondage, like and he talking like this is just people that just came from a different country that just ended up here. He's talking about what they've learned, their education. What education? What did they learn? These people were on the plantation. They were being abused on the plantation, used as animals, as chattel. And you're talking like because of emancipation, these people are now free to just go into the workforce. But even though you're going to contradict themselves, you're going to keep seeing this going on through the whole time. When you're reading books by these people, you will see the contradiction sometimes from page to page, line to line. Today, academics today that are all socialized and educated by this system, they still do this. Like, they're supposed to be the smart ones, but they make these contradictions because once you're lying, it ain't gonna never be seamless. It ain't gonna flow because you're lying. I'm gonna bring that back a little bit for you to hear, just a little bit. I'm gonna bring just a little bit, like a few seconds.
The industrial changes since and just before the emancipation of the slaves have had a great influence on their development, to which little notice has hitherto been given. In the industrial history of nations, the change from agriculture to manufacturing and trade has been a long, delicate process. First came house industries, spinning and weaving and the like. Then the market with its simple processes of barter and sale. Then the permanent stall or shop. And at last, the small retail store.
Like he's talking about like how capitalism came about. I mean, he's talking about the feudal era, all of that. But he's not going into that. He's not going down, breaking it down. Like, it didn't just come about just like that. Like somebody snapped their fingers, then came about the stores. Like, that's not how none of this worked. This was hundreds of years. Hundreds of years of who? The same people with the penguin suits that we talk about now, that they be talking about, you can't say their name. They can go around bombing people, blowing up countries. These are the same people that he's talking about. But who said right?
No, this is Greg. I just chimed in.
Oh, power to the people, Greg. But these are the people that he's talking about. Because before, we was in the feudal era where they had the kings, the queen. I mean, like, that's how they ruled. That's how the world was ruled. There was the feudal era. And he's talking about how capitalism came in. Like, he went through it real smooth. He brushed right past it about, like, it took hundreds of years for them to be able to go into this communities and societies and be able to overtake them. They had to go to war. The capitalist class had to go to war with the feudal class. They had to defeat them. That didn't just happen overnight. And black people had nothing to do with that. The slaves on the plantation had nothing to do with that. They were just a byproduct of everything that was going on. They wasn't free. Just like you're not free to do nothing now. They were not free. They didn't know nothing. They didn't know what was going on. They were just chattel on the plantation. I mean, so they had no agency. So I'm going to keep playing.
In our day, this small retail store is in process of evolution to something larger and more comprehensive. When we look at this development and see how suddenly the American city Negro has been snatched from agriculture to the centers of trade and manufacturers, it should not surprise us to learn that he has not, as yet, succeeded in finding a permanent place in that vast system of industrial cooperation.
Because there's no place for the slave. There's no place for the tool. The people that they're using to make the money, there's no place for them in that system. This is what our academics should have been telling us. We had to create our own system. They have no place for you. It doesn't matter how many books you read, what college you graduated from, if you went to Harvard like he did. Because Du Bois ended up leaving the country before he died. They chased him out of here. As soon as he became an uppity Negro, he thought he knew too much. Bruh. But it doesn't matter. And we have to start telling our children that. It doesn't matter how much you succeed in their system, you're still a nigger. We need to build our own system, our own institutions.
Apart from all questions of race, his problem in this respect is greater than the problem of the white country boy or the European peasant immigrant, because his previous industrial condition was worse than theirs and less calculated to develop the power of self-adjustment, self-reliance, and cooperation. All these considerations are further complicated by the fact that the industrial condition of the Negro cannot be considered apart from the great fact of race prejudice, indefinite and shadowy as that phrase may be.
You see that indefinite and shadowy as that phrase may be. You got to put your mind to 1896. Like now, when you say something about race, they be like, oh my God, he bringing up the race card. Oh my God, he bringing up the race card. But back then, you couldn't really say race played a part in how black people were doing in 1896. Because slavery just ended at 1865. Yeah, see, I think 1865. Slavery just ended. So 1865 to so now everybody's saying, man, it's 1896, man. You still talking about slavery holding you back. Like, how long you going to keep using that slavery card? So, you could hear how he's saying it. How he explaining it right here. Really, I mean, the racism and slavery was part of it. Like, what? If people have been in bondage for hundreds of years, how do you expect them to compete in anything? But you see, Du Bois is smart enough to know there's no competition. We're going to go into all of that. We're going to break all of that down. There's no competition. You're allowed to do what they allow you to do. Who is they? The imperialists, the capitalists, the people that run the society. Yo, there's no talking like I'm saying like they, this mystery people. Yo, your landlord. The Jeff Bezos, the people that own Home Depot, the people that own all the industries, the people that own all the buildings that we live in. These are the people that we're fighting against. These are our enemies, not our neighbors. Not because somebody gay. Not somebody gay like you're just stupid. The landlord that make it where you can't pay rent, you can't afford to live. The judges that you got to pay everything in child support and be homeless. And now the whole family is divided. There's no family bond there, because everything is because of money. To be a parent is all decided by money, by fiat. You didn't make that up. You didn't come up with those ideas. Those ideas was here before you was even born. You have no part in any of this, just like the slaves had no part in anything that was going on. So to blame the slave or to look at the slave as anything other than a victim of what was going on, say something about yourself, say something about you, or to even dismiss it. Because everybody talks about the systematic things. Like, yo, there's systematic stuff here that holds black people black. Black men go through the systematic stuff. But then at the end of the day, still, yeah, that black man ain't shit. It's his fault. So how you gonna say there's something here systemically? There's something. Yo, I'm trying to get over there. There is an ocean between me and getting over there. I don't know how to swim. Even if I knew how to swim, you're not making it through the ocean. But you blaming me because there's an ocean there. Like you saying like there's nothing there systemically stopping me from making it over there. Yo, there's something wrong with you. It's because you don't want to accept reality. You don't want to accept reality. So you come up, you be like, you know what? Yo, you could build a ship or a boat. But I don't know how to build a ship or a boat. I don't know how to do none of that. I just supposed to know that though. It's just supposed to pop in my mind. It's just supposed to come in my mind. And I'm supposed to, like all of like people are just supposed to defeat all the systemic things that are the barriers that are put in front of them to make them fail. You know what? What do I mean by systemic? You grow up in Newark and you go to the worst schools. You graduate from those schools, you don't know how to read. That's systemic. Those schools are systemic. That you don't know how to read. Yo, the food, when you go to buy the food, yo, that's systemic. The way they tax you. Like you go to, yo, you know you're not supposed to, like, when you use your card to buy something, they're not supposed to give you an extra tax. They're not supposed to tax you. Yo, go to any store out here in Newark, any one of these stores. They tax you for using your card. These are all systemic. Yo, they come like they say like they're doing street cleaning. So your car is parked outside, but they're supposed to give you a ticket. It's like, okay, I understand that. You give somebody a ticket, they didn't move their car on clean day. But they know that's not what they do. They have a contract with the tow company. The tow truck company comes, it tows your car. They take your car and they keep your car for 2-3 days because they say like, yo, you can't get it, man. It was a Friday, we close on the weekend. You got to come back and get your car on Monday. That's like $500. Plus you got to pay for the 2 tickets. And then like, where you getting that money from? When the people in Newark, the people that live in that space only make about $30,000 being kind. $30,000 a year. So where are those people getting the money to be able to pay these hidden taxes? You see, but people don't see all of that. They don't see all those systemic things, those barriers that are put in place to try to trip you up, to make sure you don't leave from this space, they don't leave from where you are. You can't take these landlords to court. They got more money than you. They got bigger lawyers than you because it's corporations that own these buildings. So they tell you like, yo, the law is here for you. You could go through the law. They don't even uphold the laws. When we say it's systemic, it's systemic. Like it's there, like it's not fake, it's real. But then you go all around and still say it's the individual's fault. You still blame the individual because you're really not serious. You're really here on bad faith. You're not here on good faith. Because if you understood that it's systemic, our condition is systemic, you can't turn around and then blame the people that are suffering from that systemic oppression. Yo, it's weird to me. Because you would talk to somebody. Yo, it's probably somebody here. We'll be like, yeah, I agree, it's systemic. And they'll be like, yeah, niggas ain't shit. What are you talking about? It don't make no sense. If it wasn't systemic, then that person wouldn't be the way that they are. But be that to say, man, we ain't never going to get through this. It's so many different ways you could go.
It is certain that while industrial cooperation among the groups of a great city population is very difficult under ordinary circumstances, that here it is rendered more difficult and in some respects almost impossible by the fact that 19/20 of the population have in many cases refused to cooperate with the other 20th, even when the cooperation means life to the latter and great advantage to the former. In other words, one of the great postulates of the science of economics, that men will seek their economic advantage, is in this case untrue, because in many cases, men will not do this if it involves association, even in a casual and business way, with Negroes. And this fact must be taken account of in all judgments as to the Negro's economic progress. Chapter 10, The Health of Negroes, Section 25, The Interpretation of Statistics. The characteristic signs which usually accompany a low civilization are a high birth rate and a high death rate, or in other words, early marriages and neglect of the laws of physical health. This fact, which has often been illustrated by statistical research, has not yet been fully apprehended by the general public because they have long been used to hearing more or less true tales of the remarkable health and longevity of barbarous peoples.
So what is he talking about right there? What is he talking about? Like, how do you judge a people? I mean, by them having a lot of children. If it wasn't for abortion, all the children that we kill in our community, we would have a whole bunch more children here. But we also die quicker. Anybody can Google it. If you want to Google it, look on your phone. Look on your phone and see the mortality rate between black people and everybody else, black people and white people. Go look at it. I mean, in some neighborhoods, in some communities, you can't even make it past 21, 25. When I was growing up in the 90s, that's what they were saying. That we're not supposed to even live past 25. We're not going through that today. He's talking about that in 1890s. If they didn't have Planned Parenthood in all our communities, I'm not here to say, I'm not saying nobody should have an abortion. We can have a conversation without being ignorant. I mean, I'm not saying nobody should have an abortion. Like, come on, like, relax. But be that as it may, all this Planned Parenthoods in our communities, the way how abortion is so prevalent, not because of the individual, because of the society around them, because of the conditions around them that make people have to choose abortion other than keeping a child. People don't have abortions because they hate children. We live in a socioeconomic world. The decisions that people make are very, they're simple to understand. You can't afford that child. A child is like you taking on a mortgage, keeping it a buck. Children are expensive. So people have abortions. Like, I don't have the right to tell anybody what they could do or what they don't do. But be that as it may, just imagine if there wasn't no abortions in our communities. Because I remember in the 90s, people used to be going in around like rabbits out here. I went to West Side. Things was wild out in high school. Things was like, imagine, I know a lot of people that had abortions. If we didn't have them, we would have a lot of children out here. And he's the same thing he's saying right here. And what else does that population, what else comes with that? They die early too. Like, you could tell a lot about the people by that, by them having children and by them dying early. That don't happen now? You can't even send a woman to the hospital for her to have a child, and you be good, like, she gonna come home safe, the baby gonna be safe. What is it? What are the rates? Like 6 or 7 times more likely to die than white women going to go have children. Like, how does that even make sense? Even my wife has dealt with it. She go in and she tell the doctors, like, I think the baby about to come out. Like, they treat her like she don't know what she's talking about. Yeah, just go sit over there. Nothing has really changed, bro. It's still the same. Like, when you reading what he's telling you how you measure a people, how you measure the success of a people. Having children early, having a lot of children early, and then dying early. That tells you a lot about that community, those people. It's the same thing that happened now. I hope somebody check the rate and tell me, and tell me, like, during the show. Come on, this is supposed to be interactive. Interact.
For this reason, the recent statistical research, which reveals the large death rate among American Negroes, is open to very general misapprehension. It is a remarkable phenomenon which throws much light on the Negro problems and suggests some obvious solutions. On the other hand, it does not prove, as most seem to think, a vast recent change in the condition of the Negro. Reliable data as to the physical health of the Negro in slavery are entirely wanting. And yet, judging from the horrors of the Middle Passage, the decimation on the West Indian plantations, and the bad sanitary condition of the Negro quarters on most southern plantations, there must have been an immense death rate among slaves.
There must have been an immense death rate among slaves. And like if you listening, heard what he said. He talked about the Caribbean. You see, because most black people, us that's in America, we think the only black people, the only real black people are like black people in America. It's weird, but people really think like that. Like all other black people are like not black. They're different black. Yo, the first black people that came from Africa that they had on them ships, they stopped at them islands. The islands was the first place they started with. Yo, America was like the last stop. So the Negroes, us, those of us that was born over here, that are over here, that from here, yo, we like the last Negroes that they brought out here. But the crazy part, if you talk to somebody from the Caribbean, they're gonna tell you they're not African. They're gonna say I'm Haitian, I'm not African. I'm from Grenada, I'm not African. I'm from Trinidad, I'm not African. I'm Jamaican, I'm not African. Because
we have to make an exception for Haiti.
Go ahead. What you got? What exception you gonna make for Haiti?
They actually applied for to join the African Union years back, and then they were rejected.
Yeah. No. But it probably was like somebody in power that applied to join or whatever. I'm talking about like you talk to average, what you call it, Haitian people. I'm not saying all of them. There's nothing that's an absolute. But you talk to an average Haitian person. Because I do it all the time. When I see them, I'm like, hey, where you from? They be like, Haiti. I'm like, Sapase, my African brother. We from Africa. They be like, nah, I'm from Haiti. I'm like, what? I'm like, yeah, I know you from Haiti, but like, you came from Africa. And some of them don't even know that history. But that's not. I'm not saying it because like it's their fault. We've all been socialized by those who control the institutions that we live under, to think and see ourselves the way that they want us to see ourselves. But let me finish. This is almost over. Go ahead. You about to say something?
Yeah, I mean, I think about when I was growing up, the idea of how people talked about Haiti, about Haitians. You know, some of it was derogatory, and then you also had the Haitian people who was like super proud because if you didn't know about Toussaint L'Ouverture, or you didn't know about Dessalines, you didn't know about certain things. I mean, Duty Bookman. Those people who knew about the history, they were proud. But the people who didn't know, they'll make fun of Haitians. And because Haiti, what they did, during the Louisiana Purchase, America, hate Haiti because of that. And so a lot of that sentiment that was from the oppressor came down to the people thinking the same thing about Haiti, or, you see Haiti and Dominican Republic, That's, another part of the the Berlin Conference, even though it's not necessarily Africa. They did the same thing. One speak French, the other speaks Spanish. They both speak European languages, but they both be like, I'm Dominican, I'm Haitian. And it's just, seeing that dynamic is funny. It's because I think Farrakhan said it some years ago. It's the same island, but it's, you have that issue.
You right. Let me drop in the video, though.
Notwithstanding all reports as to endurance, physical strength, and phenomenal longevity, just how emancipation has affected this death rate is not clear. The rush to cities, where the surroundings are unhealthful, has had...
No, that's what he's saying. Just how emancipation. So in 1865. So since 1865, how that's affected the death rate, like from the Middle Passage, slavery, all of that, to 1865 to 1896, where they at now, like how that's affected it. Like he's saying, they don't know because they wouldn't keep those numbers. Today we have data, we have numbers. You could go right on your phone and try to look up the numbers. But back then they wouldn't be trying to keep numbers of the crimes that they was committing. Like you have to find it from like the people that they insured. the bodies that they insured that they threw over the boats when they were coming over.
A bad effect. Although this migration on a large scale is so recent that its full effect is not yet apparent. On the other hand, the better care of children and improvement in home life has also had some favorable effect. On the whole, then, we must remember that reliable statistics as to Negro health are but recent in date, and that as yet no important conclusions can be arrived at as to the historical changes or tendencies. One thing we must, of course, expect to find, and that is a much higher death rate at present among Negroes than among whites. This is one measure of the difference in their social advancement. They have in the past lived under vastly different conditions, and they still live under different conditions. To assume that in discussing the inhabitants of Philadelphia, one is discussing people living under the same conditions of life, is to assume what is not true. Broadly speaking, the Negroes as a class dwell in the most unhealthful parts of the city and in the worst houses in those parts, which is of course simply saying that the part of the population having a large degree of poverty, ignorance, and general social degradation is usually to be found in the worst portions of our great cities. Therefore, in considering the health statistics of the Negroes,
I don't want to stop it. I want to let this play out. But just think about that right there. Where we at? Are we not in the worst part of the state, the city, wherever? Is that not where we at? Is that not where you find the least of us? You don't find us in the hood. He's talking about in 1896. This is where you find the poorest people, and he said the black people be right there. Wherever you find the poorest people, the people on the bottom, the lumpen proletariat, the black people are right there. It's different from now in any ghetto when you go around the country, except for like when you go to Appalachia, when you go where it's like mainly white people, they got their own class issues too. I mean, because like Fred Hampton said, it's a class struggle, goddammit. Because they got their class issues too. So when you go in them spaces, they have the poor white people there. But wherever you go here, I mean, it's like I don't want to stop it, but like when I'm reading these books and I'm comparing them to now, like, because you got to pay attention when you're reading, like you got to close the whole world out. And I'm reading this stuff. Yo, when I read this, I was in prison. Imagine me like reading this stuff in prison, and like I'm learning it for the first time, and he's saying this stuff in 1896, and I'm thinking in 2000 whatever 5, 6, whatever, whenever I was in there, I'm thinking like, yo, damn, word up, everywhere you find this is the poorest part of the city. See, but you don't learn that. You don't learn that when you go into Velsburg Middle, when you go into Sussex Avenue, when you go on the West Side. You don't learn none of this stuff. You don't learn how. Let me let this finish. I told you.
First,
I'll keep talking.
To know their absolute condition rather than their relative status. We want to know what their death rate is, how it has varied and is varying, and what its tendency seems to be. With these facts fixed, we must then ask, what is the meaning of a death rate like that of the Negroes of Philadelphia? Is it compared with other races, large, moderate, or small? And in the case of nations or groups with similar death rates, what has been the tendency and outcome? Finally, we must compare the death rate of the Negroes with that of the communities in which they live, and thus roughly measure the social difference between these neighboring groups. We must endeavor also to eliminate, so far as possible, from the problem disturbing elements which will make a difference in health among people of the same social advancement. Only in this way can we intelligently interpret statistics of the Negro health. Here, too, we have to remember that the collection of statistics, even in Philadelphia, is by no means perfect. The death returns are to be relied upon, but the returns of births are wide of the true condition. The statistics of causes of death are also faulty.
All power to the people. Yo, anybody want to say anything about what we just heard before we go on to what we're talking about today?
No, but I asked Captain Patience to look up the death rate. I mean, not death rate. I'm sorry. The statistics on black women dying from giving birth. Captain Patience, do you have that?
Yeah. According to the CDC, for every 100,000 births, 50 black women die, and it's significantly higher than like any other race. I think it said that for white women it's like 14 for every 100,000, but black women is 50.
All power to the people. Like, look, we're in 2025. Why are we still dealing with these issues? And why is this not enough to let us know what like the people we're really dealing with? I mean, but if ain't nobody got that, we're going to move on, man, because this morning I woke up and the homie, Sham, you there, Sham?
Of course I'm here.
Hey, yo, Sham sent me this. I'm going to play it. Yo, but when you sent me this, what you said, Sham, when you sent me this?
This is some tomfoolery. You see the media mind control. This is the entertainment. This entertainment. This is what entertainment is supposed to be, right?
What up? I got you. Be on it. By the way, I'm about to go to your message and see what you said when you sent it. Because when you sent this, yo, I was prepping for the show. Yo, you kind of sidetracked me. Then you sent me a whole book. You sent the text. I had to spend like 10 hours reading it. But let me see. Let me see where your text at, man. You found the text?
Which part?
The first one you sent me. I got it. It's right here. You was like, since like this is what messed us up as people. Look at this. And he sent me, and this was the one you sent me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, let me play it. Everybody, I want y'all to watch this. Pay attention to this, man.
Now, hard I work. I ain't ever gonna own this man.
You're gonna lose the farm if this weed ain't in on something.
Oh, my kids. Go to school. Now go on before you're late. Make me a promise.
Hell, you saw he just looked at his hand. He looked at his father's hand, and he saw the welts and stuff that was on his hand from carrying those mules. Like, you got to pay attention to all those little things right there. It's going to come back later.
Don't end up like me. Critter said first leave coming September. Joe, don't ever come back here. Get in there and fight the car. Bust their old rooms if you have to. And when it gets hard, don't quit on me, ever.
So look, this is the message. This is the same message that Du Bois is pushing, that you could go into the system if you just work hard. If you compete with these people, you can find your way. And then the movie is pushing that same ideology too. You see, his father was on the field. He was working that field. And his father is telling him quite accurately, no matter what I do, I'm never going to own this field. You see, but the solution to him not being able to own the field, control his destiny, was to send his own son into the system. To go be part of that imperialist system. You see, like, this is the solutions, the ideas that they was giving us as children. It came through the media. We looking at Cuba Gooding Jr. We're like, oh my God, he's a great actor. Like, yeah, like this movie deep. Yo, I ain't gonna front. Yo, this thing put tears in my eyes. Like when I was watching this, because I'm gonna get to the second part of this. This is the video he sent me. Let me finish this.
Right outside. Here's the David. Bell bottoms bleached, shoes all shined up. So what's for chow, Cookie?
I wouldn't know, Chief. Reporting for diving school.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It's supposed to be a hot one today.
So I guess he leaves. I don't remember. I saw this movie a while ago. I mean, but he was supposed to be in the Navy. He was supposed to be the first something chief. But even though I looked it up, that rank wasn't made until after this dude right here got out of the military or whatever, like 20 years later or something. But be that as it may, he was supposed to be the first Negro some shit over there in the Navy. And this was all the stuff that he went through. And the idea of the movie was to show you that, yo, people may be racist, but when you get to know them and y'all come together, like, everything's going to be okay. Like, that's how you deal with racism. Like people got to talk, people got to communicate. Y'all got to learn how to make bond. It's the people that's the problem. It's just in people's hearts. That's where racism is. So that's what this move is pushed. I'm going to try to let it play.
All right.
And so now he came back at the end of the day. Bruh's still out there waiting for them to let him in. Remember, his father told him, don't give up. Go fight. I mean, to him, this is fighting. Like standing out there all day begging these people to allow you into their system. This is fighting to this black man. So watch.
Yourself anything to drink today? No, sir, Chief. What say we go into town and get us a nice cold one?
I can't do that, Chief. I haven't reported for duty.
I'll buy you a tall one over there. A bus ticket, too. So you can go on back to whatever burg you sprang from. What do you say?
Sir, I am a Navy man. Where I come from, there are no oceans, only dirt farms and ornery mules. And no self-respecting Navy man makes a living driving mules.
Now you see that? He knew that this white man had to be poor. He had to come from the farm somewhere because he got the same wealth on his hand that his father did. So I mean, you see the movie good. The movie good, man. They bring the best actors to propagandize us, man. To get us to thinking like this is how we should live our lives. This is the ideas that we should hold. This is what we should be doing with ourselves. I mean, like this is good. Look at the actors that they got in there. How bro? What is bro now? Bro, a Democrat, a Hillary Clinton Democrat.
One second, Chairman.
Go ahead.
He said no self-respecting what? No self-respecting Navy man would drive mules.
Yeah.
So he had no respect for his father. Like, I'm not understanding what
his
that
father his father didn't have no respect for himself. His father didn't have no respect for the work he did with his hands. His father wanted his son to enter imperialism. This was the idea of success.
So what I'm saying is he his father had no respect for himself, and because of that, he probably had no respect for his father.
Exactly.
Because to say that, and he says it with so much indignation, like, ew, like, I would never, like...
Ew.
Right. Like, my father? Yuck. Who that?
Ew, poor people. Yeah.
America, my father.
May I be heard?
Yeah, why wouldn't you be heard, Basil?
I have to ask. I don't know why I always say that. All due respect, I didn't see it that way. My perspective was he was saying that my father would never want me to do that. That's where I'm coming from, because I think, in essence, I'm looking, maybe it's woman, man, you know, Mars, we are from Venus, you guys are from Mars. I'm looking at it saying, but I'm thinking he's saying, I love my father. My father wouldn't want me to go out drinking with you and lose all that I've worked for. I don't think he was really saying he didn't love his father. I think he had a lot of love for his father. He felt pretty much sorry, but his father did not want him to be what he was. That's how I see it. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but that's my perspective.
Yo, but it's art. Yo, we're here to interpret it however we see it. There's nothing wrong with how you see it. All power to the people. I mean, but you could be 100% correct. I mean, yeah, you could be right.
Peace and blessings.
Oh, you wanted to say something?
Yeah.
What's up?
I want to point to our current pathology as we raise our kids, right?
Yeah.
We raise our kids to get up and leave our families and not become a contributing factor to the household that reared them or the community that reared them. I heard his father say, "Don't you ever come back here." I understand he's talking about the plantation, but what about the family that's there? What about everything else? So my thing is that we as a culture is pushing our kids into a system, but not pushing our kids into a system we're supposed to go into that system, get what we could get from that system, and bring it back to our people, our community, our families. Peace and blessings.
All power to the people. Hey, yo, and I said earlier we went to an event. We was talking about, you probably wasn't here, Mutar, but that event was hosted by Mutar. I mean, Mutar is a regular person like you and I. I mean, Mutar saw that there's a problem in the community, and Mutar called another comrade. I don't know if he want to be called Kid Problem. I don't know what name he want to go by. The artist formerly known as Kid Problem. I don't know. But be that as it may, they called a meeting. They had a little meeting, like we should all meet up. Everybody should come up. Let's talk about what we're going to do. That's Mutar right there, man. All power to the people. But let me finish this out real quick.
Sir. Let him in.
So he told them let him in. He been there all morning waiting. So he told them let them in. So Sham showed me that. He sent me that this morning. Like, this is the bullshit we had to learn as children. You see, but all these subtle messages was there. And then when he sent me that, because this was one of my favorite movies at one point, and then I remembered the ending. I had to go find the ending. I mean, like, so after this officer right here, his staff sergeant, whatever he was, because he the one that ran him through that boot camp for him to become a diver. I mean, so through the process of him trying to break him, like, they built a relationship. Now, at the end of the movie, they were trying to kick him out of the movie, like they wasn't going to give him his pension or something like that, and they made him have to put the suit on, and they told him he had to walk in his suit, but he had broke his leg or something. His leg had got messed up, and he had went through the whole process trying to get his leg right. I mean, went through depression, so he finally got his leg healed up. So they told him he had to walk in that suit, whatever, for him to be able to stay in the Navy. So, like, this is how Hollywood is good. The same bad guy that was messing with him from the beginning of the movie, now they done build a relationship. You see, like, this is like, yo, they good. Hollywood is good. Like, it tugs at your heart. and he's gonna come there and he's gonna motivate him and help him to be able to defeat these, I don't know. Anyway, let me play it.
Navy diver, stand up. Leave him.
Captain, if I recall the Navy regulation manual correctly, the diver may be held to his feet. This is a lot of brass to slang up from a seated position, sir.
It's spun copper, Chief. We haven't used brass in a decade. And the new manual states the diver must rise unassisted.
That's what it says in the new book, sir? If I may ask, Captain, how would you know?
I wrote it.
Yes, sir. Navy diver, stand up.
You see, I'm telling you, man, Hollywood is good. I'm about to cry already. You see his son? You see his son sitting there watching him? Like when he was growing up, he had to learn from his father. So they're saying like, yo, you're teaching your son how to be strong. Yo, Hollywood is good. They're good at this. And the subtle messages that they're giving you. Like this is how you fight to be part of this system, to be part of imperialism, to become part of the system that's oppressing everybody else. This is what you should be striving towards. So a young person seeing that, they're like, yeah, I should go into the Marine Corps. I should go be the first this, that in the Marine Corps. Instead of understanding the Marine Corps is in Africa killing your people right now. I think the Secretary was trying to say something. You trying to say something, Secretary? But anyway, let me put it on. Oh, he's about to go through, like, he's going to be, like, when you join these special groups in the military, they have, like, oaths and different things that they live by. So you're going to hear them, like, through the whole movie. They're going through the oaths, they're going, like, they're chanting it, they're going over and over. And now they're going to put all of that with the end, with this motivational part, where he helps them achieve the goal of whatever that you're about to see.
Square that ring and approach the rail. One, two, three, four, five, seven, eight.
Gentlemen, flag. Please. Gentlemen. Navy divers, stand down.
Divers, you will disregard. This is my detail. God damn it, Cookie. Move your ass. I want my 12. The Navy diver is not a fighting man. He is a salvage expert. If it's lost underwater, he finds it. If it's sunk, he brings it up. If it's in the way, he moves it. 11. If he's lucky, he will die young 200 feet beneath the waves. Well, that is the closest he will ever get to being a hero. Hell, I don't know why anybody'd want to be a Navy diver. Now you report to this line, Cookie. At ease. Hit that time.
United States Navy proudly reinstates Senior Chief and Diver Carl Brashear to full active.
We are following this breaking news. The U.S.
Hey, Chairman, I have a comment.
The coast of Venezuela. Now, this comes amid a U.S. military buildup in the Caribbean. Venezuela's president alleges the goal of the buildup is to overthrow him.
Yeah, I'm coming, General Secretary. Now, I wanted to show this real quick. This is what the military really do in real life. Aside from the movies, this is what the Navy, this is what the Marine Corps, this is what the Coast Guards, all the military, whatever, their purpose is to go around and steal for imperialists. They're not here to defend us. They're not here to catch a bullet for us. In fact, they will throw us under the bus. You see, but they spin that whole web. They show us that movie. They try to make us believe this is what the Navy is here for. This is what our purpose is. This is what makes you a good person. This is what makes you a man. And all those ideals we hold in the back of our minds, and we think, yo, if you could just get to the heart of that white person, you could change their minds, you could change the world, we could change the society. And we don't understand their forces. They're people with money we can't even fathom, that are in position, in place to control everything we see, everything we know, to make sure we stay in our communities, that we pay mortgages for rent, even though we can't even afford the rent. And if we complain, they got jails that they're building. They're building Cop City. You're in North. You're right here on Clinton. They got like 3 blocks of police stations. Yo, people walk past them every day. Nobody's asking why they're building all these police stations on one block. Like, you could have a police station right there. Yo, I think they already had like 5 or 6 already in North. But, yo, we got a whole block. They're talking about this training facilities, is this facility. Yo, when there's no jobs, when there's nowhere for people to live, and these people know that the people are going to have an uprising. They're preparing on how to deal with people. And we be sitting here watching movies like this, thinking this is what America is. This is what the military is. Go ahead. What did you want to say, General Secretary?
My interpretation of that scene, and I don't think I watched this movie before. I probably just saw clips. But I guess because I'm mature in my political education, I just saw a show monkey. Like,
no. Today you see a show monkey. But back then, in 90-something, 2000, wherever it came out, if you saw it, you wouldn't be thinking like you thinking now, like they're show monkeys. You understand what I'm saying?
I hear you.
I mean, go ahead, Sean.
I want to say something to that. Even to the scene where the person, think about who writing the book. The person who wrote the rule, he ain't doing none of that. He ain't putting none of that work. So it's even showing you the people that's writing the rules ain't doing none of the work that they asking the general to do and the show monkey to do. It was performative.
No. But you see, but they were trying to show. You see, the movie's trying to show like you can deal with white supremacy. You can deal with the evils of the system of racism by building relationships with white people. Becoming around white people, you're gonna be able to destroy the institution of imperialism, of everything that's going on. And that young guy that wrote the book, he's supposed to be the antagonist. That's who they're supposed to be fighting against, this young generation that's coming up. They think they know everything. This whippersnapper, he never been through this, but he going to sit there and write a book and talk about what we're talking about. Not talking about imperialism is the reason why we're dealing with everything we're dealing with. The reason why those white people feel the way they feel is because imperialists made them think that way, socialized them to think that way, put rules and things systematically in place to make them think that way. Just like now, you have black middle-class people. They don't want to give up their jobs and their homes in the suburbs to come fight with people in the hood. So they'll support anything that sounds like it makes sense to justify their treachery. It's the same thing. I mean, but they're trying to act like that white boy is the antagonist. That's who everybody should be mad at. Nah. The entire system, that whole movie was trash. It's a propaganda tool to try to get people to feel like the Navy is this good, benevolent institution that just out here doing good. If you must die, you must receive it, you must retrieve it. If it's this, if it's that, man, the Navy's there to go steal people's stuff on the water, to steal oil tankers, to bomb and threaten people's lives. Go ahead, Basil. You wanted to say something, Basil.
Yes, I want to agree with General Patience about the monkey. I would see it as this. If that had been a white person, would that white person have done the same thing? And when she said retrospect, looking, if I had first seen the movie years ago and my other, not knowing what I know today, I like you said, it would bring tears to my eyes.
Yeah.
It kind of brought tears to my eyes, too.
Yeah. I get...
The man using every inch of him to prove to this white man that I am somebody, But if it had been a white person, he wouldn't have gone through that. That's what I want to say.
Yeah. I mean, and the whole conversation we having today is, the art that we should be pushing, talking about is for the people, is black people, is for black people. It was supposed to be showing him using that effort to organize the community to be able to fight back against imperialism.
Can I add on a little bit?
Go ahead. Yeah, why would
this is something that you related to earlier, right?
Mm-hmm.
I want y'all to understand they purchased the best writers in the world. So we talking about the best writers that humanity can produce. This is who Hollywood has working for them. They have the best special effects. They have the best storytellers. In fact, they got teams of storytellers specifically to work on how to touch your emotions. Because once I touch your emotions, it don't matter whether I'm telling the truth. I can lead you wherever I want to lead you based on how you feel. Peace and blessings.
Oh, power to the people. Nah, for real. Somebody about to say something?
Yeah, one last point I want to make. To me, this is like a metaphor or simile, whatever you want to call it, for the civil rights movement. Like you said, touch at the heart of the white man. And I think there's a quote out there from Martin Luther King or something speaking to that effect. And that's why that whole nonviolence, getting sprayed on, getting the dog sick on you, so you can get to the emotional heart of the American people, as opposed to, I would say, revolutionary. Fuck your emotions, fuck your feelings.
Hey, why's the profanity? Hey.
F your feelings, F your emotions. This oppressive system is killing us, and we need to get rid of it.
Nah, all power to the people.
Should have used that energy to go back to his land and rebuild the land or the money or what. That's what he should have did.
Nah, word up. All right, so we talking about the media, that movie. We just gave that whole example on how they spend all of that. You see, but when you're talking to people, they be like, yeah, whatever. Ain't nobody using no movie to do nothing. It's just a movie. It's just entertainment. That's what people will tell you. Listen to this real quick. You see, now look, I go try to find places where they're not going to say like, yo, you're being a radical. These people are as corporate as can be. They call themselves, what they call themselves? Independent
media.
Independent media. They say they claim they're independent, that the corporations have nothing to do with them. Man, they get funding. They're part of the system too. But that's what they say. But anyway, I go to these places to bring you what's going on. Because if I said it, they'd be like, yo, Africa's an alarmist, Africa's this, that. Yo, listen to them. Let them tell you real quick.
Let's go to Paramount.
Better drop some hot takes.
All right, I like it. All right, let's get to Paramount. All right, now this is by far some of the biggest political news, and the reason why is this is a perfect intersection, in my opinion, of oligarchy, of markets, of Trump, of corruption, of also, though, control over almost everything that we see in mass media culture. So for all of the talk we just had about YouTube and 1 billion views over here and a burgeoning, independent, non-connected media, the truth is that America is still largely ruled by a couple of major media companies, and those media companies are in a mass scramble now to consolidate and to control even more of what you see. This is now coming to head ahead with this new merger war between Netflix making a bid for Warner Brothers Discovery, which would give them...
To do what? Why they in the war? Why are they fighting? Why are all these billionaires fighting? What are they fighting for? To control how you think. You see, but if I said, it seemed like I'm being hyperbolic. Like, yo, Africa just like, he's just going around here talking. Yo, he's telling you. Because it's right there. They tell you they want to control how you think. You think you watching Netflix just to be watching Netflix. Keep listening.
Warner Brothers Studio would give them CNN control of a vast array of streaming assets, and now Paramount, led by David Ellison, the Zionist billionaire who is much more, I guess, Trump-friendly is one way to put it, making a hostile bid for the company. Here is Donald Trump being asked specifically about who he would side with in this merger deal, which coincidentally in Paramount includes foreign, Qatari, Saudi money, as well as Jared Kushner. Here is Donald Trump in his reaction. Let's take a listen.
Support the Paramount bid for Warner Brothers.
I don't know enough about it.
You just spoke about Netflix last night, saying you have concerns about that.
I know the companies very well. I know what they're doing, but I have to see what percentage of market they have. We have to see the Netflix percentage of market, Paramount, the percentage of market. I mean, none of them are
Oh, my bad, y'all. I'm sorry.
particularly great friends of mine. Yeah, I want to do what's right. So very important to do what's right.
Supported by Jared Kushner, Mr. President, would that impact your decision?
If Paramount is, I don't know. I've never spoken to him.
I've never spoken to him. You never spoke to them. Yeah, right. But go ahead. Like, listen to the deals that they're making. Who's involved in this deal? His son-in-law, his family is involved in this deal that they're making to take over the media outlets. These are people that are known professional liars. They're controlling what you see, what you know.
About it. Even though he is, of course, not only the president's son-in-law, actively working with the president on Gaza.
I love him too, saying like, none of them are really particularly great friends of mine.
Right.
Dude, and not only Ellison, Netflix, they also, came and met and trying to kiss the ring, like they know how the game is played too. So they're all sucking up to Donald Trump.
And we should, I guess, explain why does Trump even matter in any of this? It's because any merger has to be approved by the United States government at a scale of this size. I mean, it's not just, a couple of, it's not like two small local businesses combining. We're talking about a vast array of multimedia assets, which no one really ever believed would be consolidated into a single company. It's hugely consequential business-wise, culture-wise, and that's why we have to pay so much attention to all this. Let's go to the next part here and explain some of the foreign money that's behind this deal. Can we put the next element on the screen?
Hey, when you get a chance, come here, General Secretary. Oh, I got it. Never mind. No, but look at the foreign. You say what? What happened?
Oh, I was saying peace. I didn't know if y'all could hear me. I dialed in on my phone.
We could hear you. Like, you wanted to say something?
No, I was just letting y'all know I'm here. Peace and blessings, everybody.
All power to the
Queen.
All power to the people. If you see something you want to talk about, you just chime in.
Okay.
All power to the people.
WBB is actually backed in part by some $24 billion from Middle Eastern sovereign wealth.
No, but the media, he's talking about the media. He's talking about them buying this. Look who's involved. $24 billion from Middle Eastern sovereign wealth funds. Remember, this is not you. This is not Americans. We're not going to be controlling these stations, these institutions that tell the people every single day how they should think, what is fact, what is fiction. $1 billion from China's Tencent and some more money from Jared Kushner's private equity firm. These are the people that are going to own these institutions. And then they're going to turn around, they're going to tell me, hey, yo, what they going to call it? What they call journalists? It'll come to me in a second, but let me keep playing.
Funds $1 billion from China's Tencent. Tencent, if you're not familiar, one of the largest media companies in all of China. And then you also have Jared Kushner's private equity firm. Now, you may ask, because what are they going to get from this? Go to the next part, please, just so I can explain a little bit. They say that the financing sources are $11.8 billion combined from the Ellison family, in aggregate $24 billion from sovereign wealth funds of the Gulf, and $1 billion from Tencent, and commitments from Redbird Capital Partners. and affinity partners. Now, the thing is that all of these partners have said that they are prepared to execute agreements which would give them equity but not give them board or voting membership seats. Now, you may ask then, well, what is in it for them? Now, this is the same strategy of Saudi Arabian foreign capital trying to roll up American culture. So we talked about the video game industry, EA Sports, now, for example, Live Golf. Like what they're trying to do, I mean, it's classic, not just sports watching, I would really call it culture watching at this point. If you control enough of the media, it doesn't really matter whether you have individual board memberships on what is going to be done here and there. It's about having skin in the game to the point where nobody can criticize you. This is, also remember the Riyadh.
And that's what I wanted to stop at. You see, like, all these people from outside the country, they're putting all these billions of dollars. Not millions. I didn't say thousands. I said they're putting these billions of dollars together to help these people get these corporations. But why? Because once they get the corporation and you're giving them money, they're not going to talk about you. So you could be in Saudi Arabia cutting people's heads off in the middle of the street. You see, those people, the people's head that's going to get cut off, the average citizen that's going to be brutalized, they have no power. They're not affecting nothing over there. You see, that's why Huey P. Newton said there are no nation states. None of these states all around the world fight for the people. None of them support the people. They all exploit the people. Because capitalism is global now. Imperialism is global now. So those places, Saudi Arabia, China, all these people, Jared Kushner, the Trumps, all of these people, they're buying up all these media outlets so the media outlets won't talk about them, won't say nothing about them. They'll be able to control what we know, what we see, what we understand is fact. And then you come out your house, you're trying to talk to your neighbor, they're telling you something else because that's what they saw on CNN. And you can't even say nothing to them. I mean, I'm going to bring it here. I'm going back again. Yo, this person that's narrating, the person that's talking, that's Dr. Jared Ball from I Mix What I Like. But I'm showing you, this is how it works in our communities. That's why I'm playing this video. I want you to see how they brainwash it, because we started off with that movie. You saw the movie, the message, the subtle messages that was pushed through the movie. All entertainment, everything that they put out is a social conditioning tool. But listen to this right here, because before I even get to this, on Chancellor Avenue, we went over there because they had cut the water for like 8 months. They had cut the water. They didn't have no hot water. There was a couple of other stuff that slumlords were doing. The city wasn't holding them accountable. The tenants were complaining. They had a tenant association meeting. And when I went over there, guess who was there? Guess who owned the building? Guess who ran the building? It was them people with them penguin suits on. Because you can't say their name. In the 60s, 70s, in the 50s, 60s, 70s, during the civil rights movement, the people with the penguin suits, they all left out of Newark. When black people started demanding power in Newark, where they were at, these people fled. They left with the money, they left with everything, left with the industry, left and just left us with nothing. The people had nothing here to try to pick themselves up. Now they're coming back. Every community you go to, every neighborhood you go to, you see them. They're walking around with their penguin suits on. Freely. Because they own the property now. They own everything. They've made deals. They've been buying all the property. They've been making deals with politicians to buy up our community. So while you see people going to jail for selling drugs, for selling coke, for selling weed, for just standing outside, for being black, people going to jail, these slumlords that's illegally doubling people's rents, they're not going to jail. That's illegally throwing people into the streets, they're not going to jail. Because they've bought up their entire system. But you're going to see this guy right here. He's going to tell you how in the 50s and 60s, when they were fleeing Newark, when they were leaving our communities, how we had tight relationships with these people. Listen to this garbage.
Let's watch this. When I was growing up, I only thought of race in terms of black and white. It wasn't until much later, when I learned about anti-Semitism, that I realized blacks and Jews face common enemies. But when we stand together, we are a formidable force.
So we just looked at some of the mythology of the history of the civil rights era as it relates to boycotts. Now we're getting the mythology regurgitated about in terms of that civil rights era, in terms of as it relates to Black and Jewish relationships. This is so. One thing I am going to shamelessly plug is invite folks to check out my limited, discussions about questioning what we think we understand about the history of Jews. Not because I think Black people need some overture to make and owe anyone anything, quite the opposite. But what we are owed, that is what Black people are owed, is an honest assessment and analysis, and we just don't get it. So whether it's from some of the conservative nationalism that is just more interested in being anti-European Jew, or whether it's this rabid liberal Zionist approach from Henry Louis Gates that is wanting to be rabidly Zionist and in defense of European Jews, we're not getting the Black community specifically, but the world is not getting an appropriate and accurate enough analysis about what the hell is going on here.
The relationship between African Americans and Jews in the United States, it's not a simple story, and it cannot be a simple story. It's got a really long history.
When these two communities get together and they synergize creatively or politically, they're a juggernaut, and they can't be stopped.
Jewish people have always been some of the first outside of the culture itself to embrace Black music, the white Jewish.
But why?
Now, we're going to get to the but why in a second. But why you think PBS is putting this out now? They see what's going on. They see how Black people feel about what's going on in Gaza with the Palestinian people. And look how they bring on the Black academic. They're going to air this maybe this weekend, next week on PBS. To try to tell Black people like, yo, Jews are our friends. That's what the media is used for. That's what these pundits, these media people, these talking heads, that is what their job is. Every single one of them. You cannot work in those spaces if you're not there to maintain the ideas and the philosophies of those spaces. And even Jared Ball, I'm talking about, you see the guy down there with the bald head, the one that's talking, I mix what I like, he would disagree with me. But I can make a good argument, a right argument, that he is no different. But I'm gonna prove it to you in a second.
1 second, Chairman.
Go ahead.
But even the so-called Jewish people that they're talking about, they're not the regular, common Jewish person. These are all institutionalists. These are all part of the bourgeoisie class, the wealthy class. All these people, even the Black people as well. These people, they're not speaking for the people. And the Jewish people that's in that mix, they're not speaking for Jewish people. They're speaking for their class.
Exactly. And they're the one that own this music industry. The whole hip hop, whatever, R&B, all of this stuff was all controlled by them. That's why he's asking why. Why were they in those spaces? Because they control the messages that was coming into our communities. Like, go ahead.
I want a couple of people to understand historically, Newark, New Jersey is a Jewish town. Has been always, before Blacks integrated into Newark. Newark was a Jewish and an Italian town. If we go to Wellsburg area and we look at the cemeteries, we'll see a whole bunch of Jewish. If we go to the biggest buildings in Newark and see the structure, most of them were synagogues. So, like the young man in the story was saying, they abandoned these urban cities when Blacks start coming into financial power, political power, and they said, "Listen, we're not going to do anything for this. We out." And now they coming to reclaim their properties.
All power to the people.
Why? why did I just go blank on his name? He wrote that book, The Head Nigger in Charge, or did he call it HNIC at the time? I think he didn't. I think he, what's his name? He's often been interviewed in these. It'll come back to me. But why is the question? So it's the same thing I keep wanting to ask when people want to say, well, Jews are to be blamed and condemned for this, that, and the third. Why? Why are we? What is the exact reasoning behind why European Jews end up in a certain situation historically, so on and so on? And the same thing here. Why are Jews?
Like I said, like the issues I have with Jared Ball, I don't care why they end up in the situation where they own the ghetto. I really don't care why. All I care about is they're the one that's putting their foot on my neck. You see, but Jared is compromised. His mother is Jewish. So from his perspective, he's not coming like, you see, we Panthers. We can't, when we reason or make an analysis, we cannot use liberalism because my mother is Jewish because of that. No, you got to make it based on the data. I don't care why they own the buildings, why they won't put the heat on. I don't care why they won't put the heat on. They don't have the heat on, and they're doubling my rent. And it's dumb. The penguin suit wearers, they paying off the politicians so they can make us all homeless. They could displace us. I don't care why they're doing it. You see, but with him, if you listen to him, because I listened to him, I've listened to him for a couple of years, his argument is always, why are they in that position? They're in that position because that's where white supremacy would allow them to be. They will allow them to be the slumlord, allow them to be the producers in the film. That's the little niche that they gave Jewish people after the Holocaust. I don't give a damn. All I care about is that they have their foot on my neck. They're the ones that refuse to put their hot water on, to put the heat on. That we paying crazy rent, and they still can't put their hot water on. There's mice everywhere. There's rodents everywhere. I don't care why they did it.
The so-called first to be there, and to what extent is that actually true, and to what extent has that helped black people towards a more radical liberation as opposed to what exists today? And so there's just so many questions that I'm not confident are going to be appropriately either asked or answered in this city. But we definitely go watch it. I'm definitely going to watch it.
Producer and the greatest black jazz singer of all time.
See, he said he's going to watch it. I wouldn't watch it because I know it's garbage. It's propaganda. I don't even want to put that garbage in my mind. I don't have time to even watch it. But he's going to watch it. That's what he do. I mean, they don't build institutions. They're not trying to maintain institutions. They just talk. And that's what I would tell him to his face. He just talk. He's an academic. You see, to him, he think he's different from a Gates. Nah, man, you just like Gates. Yo, if you're not building institutions, if you're not actively working towards the liberation of our people, like Kwame Ture said, you're on the other side. You're an enemy to the people. So you can write whatever books, try to make whatever money you can from writing your books, try to make yourself feel better. But if you're not building institutions, if you're not working to build institutions to liberate the people, you're part of the problem.
Why can't the world be like this?
And then we got Billy Crystal. So it's black scholars. Please don't tell me they're doing this. Todd Boyd. Thank you, Chitty Macha. That's exactly right. Thank you.
I'm going to go on for a few minutes because I want him to name the people that they consider intellectuals. I want him to go ahead and name those people before I go on.
Todd Boyd, thank you very much. Please don't tell me we're going to do it this way, though. We're going to have what are supposed to be the elite black intellects, and then we're just going to go get white actors and celebrities and jazz musicians. Please don't tell me they're going to do that.
Rabbi initially told him might not live because they're killing folk in Selma.
And did you all read that book years ago? That
you see what they just had there, right? Cornel West. These are supposed to be the intellectuals. These are all institutionalists. Even Jared Ball, he looks at these institutionalists as intellectuals. You cannot be an intellectual if you are an institutionalist.
Cornel West, they called it co-wrote, but it was really an editing of interviews with, forgot Rabbi such and such on black-Jewish relations years ago. I mean, and it was, all I really remember from it was that it was, again, sort of that false narrative praise song to the way I took it at the time certainly was what black people are supposed to owe Jews for their relative freedom, and it just was really bothersome and troublesome. And even at one point, if I remember correctly, descended into one of those Farrakhan is the problem type things. It's just so irritating. But
I think the civil rights movement healed our souls after Nazi Germany.
There was
you're about to say that, but I want you to think about what she just said. She said the civil rights movement healed her soul after Nazi Germany. How did civil rights movement heal your soul after what happened in Germany? Yo, black people didn't get nothing. Black people didn't gain nothing from the civil rights movement. Yo, we still at the bottom on every barometer you can use to measure social mobility. We didn't gain nothing. I mean, the only people that really saw anything were the Uncle Tom that's always been here. They were here from the 1890s. Du Bois was talking about them. The slaves, the ex-slaves, the ones that were servants, that served master. And usually they were in those positions because they were bastards of the master. He slept with the slaves, he had children, and he brought them in the house to work in the house. They gave them training. Yo, those group of people that had that knowledge and that training, because the rest of the people, the rest of the masters was on the plantation. They were not getting those teachings. They were not learning how to read on the plantation. So those people, we in 2025, the legacy of those people are still here. Those are the people that fought for assimilation, to get access into white supremacy, into the system, to act like they did something, like the civil rights movement did something for the masses of black people. It allowed black people to be the first nigger this, the first Negro that. When the masses of the people are catching hell, are living paycheck to paycheck, working 2-3 jobs to survive, making every decision based on economics, which they don't have. We didn't gain nothing from the civil rights movement. And how did that heal your soul? You must not have had a soul then. But go ahead, let Jared explain whatever he's about to say.
Imagine that. Please, oh my God. Because remember, everybody, the quote that I use from Derek Bell all the time came out of an essay that he wrote for that anthology Strangers and Neighbors years ago, which was about the relationship between black people and Jews. And one of the points that he was trying to make in distinguishing the difference in experience was why he made that point that I quote all the time about public policy in the United States being the equivalent of taking hundreds of black people a week out to a secluded place and shooting them.
You hear that? That's what he believes. That's what Jared Ball believes. Public policy for black people is the equivalent of taking 100 people to the field and shooting them. In other words, the public policies that are passed in America have nothing to do with us. Nothing to do with black people. In fact, not alone do they not have nothing to do with us, it harms our communities. You see, that's where Jared Ball, he just said that's where he stands. He says he believes that. I want you to remember that. The reason why I have issues with him. You understand that. That's what policy in America is. That's what America is. America is equivalent to rounding up people every week, taking them to the field and shooting them. That's how politics work in America. He said he got that from, what was his name? I don't even like the dude. I forgot the name he said. Derek Bell. I don't like him either. I mean, he like the Uncle Tom, what word would you use for him? Apologist. I don't know.
That, so that's where we are today. So to hear, and I know we're just Jew
forward this
the Nazi Holocaust. How do you put? What does that mean?
Yeah, I know.
Who's to transcend grounds and histories and why?
But anyway, he talked about people like Pernell Joseph. Like most of you probably don't know him. You don't need to know him. But these are all the people that they prop up. They prop up in media to go out there and speak about us. These people go out and write books about our revolutionaries. And they try to undermine the work that they did. Like Skip Gates coming up with this documentary to say this was our relationship with the Jews, when our relationships in our communities with the Jewish people or the penguin suit wearers has always been contentious. They've always tried to exploit us. This never been a relationship where they're trying to help the people liberate themselves or help black people liberate themselves. That's a complete lie. Now you're gonna talk about that, General Secretary. Oh, what you call it is not up here.
What's not up there? What, like
the stuff I wanted to go to next to talk about is not up here.
All right, I'm coming.
I mean, but anybody got something to say real quick? While she come and try to see if she could fix this real quick. Those 5 videos. No, but this 5 video that she put up is from the same Jared Ball. And in the video, she's going to explain exactly why he doesn't believe in the system, doesn't trust the system, the role that celebrities play in the system. And the only way that you gain any power, that you have any ability to speak or do anything, is if the people in power, these corporations, the same corporations you talk about, CNN, MSNBC, Warner Brothers, these record companies, if they all support you and they support what you're doing, you can be successful. But once they stop supporting you, it doesn't matter who you are. You're going to lose all your support. You're going to lose all your fans. They're basically going to isolate you. You see, he understands all of that. But he says his solution to the problem is getting unions. Is the people demanding equity. Who you demanding equity from? Go ahead, Aaliyah.
Hi, how you doing? I actually was invited, and this is my first time coming on a platform, and I appreciate being on here. I really kind of like wanted to discuss about business in terms of how can I say it? I mean, I'm listening to like the politics that you're talking or what have you, but also I wanted to kind of like talking about an amazing platform that I am building, and the platform is all about organization. It's all about pretty much helping you streamline your network in terms of like maybe your commitments that you might have with the community, commitments that you could be having with the business aspect of your community. And the platform that I am producing right now is called Don't Forget. It will be launching officially March 1st. We'll have a soft launch the end of this month or the first week of January. And I just wanted to pretty much talk about the platform. It consists of dashboards where you can organize maybe your itineraries or organize whatever, conferences or setups that you might want to do. We have follow-ups. You can integrate Zoom, Google Meet on the platform. If you do consultations, we have a public booking section in there. We also have a booking management system set up in there. We also have analytics in there. And it's going to continue to grow. And I pretty much just wanted to just share that with you because it's brand new and it would definitely be useful for the community. It is subscription-based, and the official price will be on March the 1st, but we're doing a discount. And I just wanted to just present the information to you guys.
All power to the people. Stay right there. What you say your name is? Malia, right?
Yes.
Yeah, stay right there, man. But I want you to chime in on the conversation we're having. Are you following?
Okay, so let me just say this. I'm at work right now. I'm a nurse supervisor, so I can't stay too long, but I'm gonna stay as long as I can.
Yeah, no, but how long have you been here? Are you following anything we're talking about?
What's the last thing you just said?
Are you following? Were you able to follow anything we're talking about?
I was coming in and out because, like I said, I'm working on the floor right now, so I just came into like a empty room to listen on. So I've been in and out, unfortunately. Like I said, I'm physically at work right now, but I just wanted to mention that and listen as needed as I can.
All power to the people. Nah, but we have this stuff on YouTube because we really want to be able to have a conversation. We want to talk about what you said too, what you said that you do, what you have to provide for the community. We want to talk about that more extensively. So we could, you know what? Try to stay as long as you can and hear what you could hear. If you got anything to say, hit me back. Did you text me? Do you have my telephone number?
Well, I could get all the information from Shamsuddin.
Oh, okay. All power to the people. Yeah, definitely get it from him. You know what? I'm gonna talk to him in a minute. But try to see if anything catches your attention. If you want to speak about anything we're talking about, and chime in.
Absolutely, I will.
All power to the people.
So just like I said, I might come in and out because I'm working in units right now. But I
already know. You don't get fired either.
I'm not.
Institutions, and a more careful reading of them, I think, does more to expose the colonial relationships than certainly suggest that they're being used to overturn them.
I know. I want you to understand what Jared Ball just said. He just said a more careful understanding of these institutions. And what are institutions? Institutions are the stuff that they have that are erected to be able to control how we all think. Like, let's say the media. Let's say Aaliyah just said she was at the hospital. She's working in the hospital. So the healthcare system, those are all institutions. And he's saying you cannot change how these institutions function. I'm going to play it again for you to understand, for you to hear him at his own words.
I got the email.
Again, these institutions, a more careful reading of them, I think, does more to expose the colonial relationships than certainly suggest that they're being used to overturn them.
I got you. So a more careful reading, a more study. Like, if you study these institutions, all the institutions they have in America, like, you have no chance of even trying to change them. That's what he just said just then. I want you to remember that.
It, of course, would some of these different, and all it equates to is the smallest amounts of difference. So I think so much more energy should be put to maybe starting with a conversation like this to explain some of these differences, but to get to the point that what would be a better goal, somewhat limited, of course, would be unions, redistribution of the wealth.
Now, this is the problem I have with intellectuals and middle managerial people, because like people that professors, people that work in these institutions, because universities are institutions too, imperialist institutions too, they are compromised. So at the end of the day, even though he said you cannot use these institutions to try to change them and make them better, he's saying his solution to fixing what's going on is unions. Where you think the unions are going to be working at? Where you think the unions are at? Listen, unions is the first one.
Wealth created for the industry. Pension plans.
Who is going to give you pension plans? The same oligarchs that you're fighting with, the same imperialists that you're fighting with. You're going to use the union. The unions are going to make them do the opposite of what imperialism is. That's your rationale as an academic. You're saying these systems, you can't reform these systems. But your solution is going back into these systems. This was like, see, I was supposed to play this. This was supposed to come after the next two videos, whatever. I was supposed to play this to make this point, but like we just got it mixed up just now. So we're going to go with this the way it is.
Wait, Chairman. But even the unions, because they're connected to the system, because that's where they get their bread and butter. For instance, Garden Spires was sold to a former baseball player that's connected to Rod. So that our building was sold, and then they, got rid of people because, that's what they do. Once they sell the building, they start getting rid of the tenants. And then after 4 or 5 years, they sell the building to a hedge fund company. And guess who's that hedge fund company? It is a hedge fund company that handles the TIAA, the biggest teachers union. So it's a teachers union that is working with these slumlords, actually funding them, because that's where they invest their money in to kick residents out. So unions are for the workers. They're not for the people. And they will always look out for the workers. And the workers' interest always is against the people's interest.
See, that's a whole deeper conversation that people now don't even know they're ready to have. But that's true. But look behind Jared Ball. You see how he got George Jackson back there? You see, all of this is supposed to make it seem like he's radical, like he's on the side of a George Jackson. George Jackson wouldn't say unions is the way how you solve this, any of this. What he's saying would not be any. George Jackson saying we got to tear this system down. We got to organize within ourselves to build within our own communities ourselves. Like you cannot fix imperialism. That's where George Jackson coming from. You see, but he will, cloak himself under the teachings of George Jackson. He will mention them, mention all these people, even though, like, philosophically, he don't share the same philosophy, because he's an institutionalist himself.
Great, a business person and hustler to put food on the table and produces art for an audience that clearly wants to support it. He's already done enough, I would think, and I would argue, that to justify having some permanent revenue source coming from all of the industry. So if we took, we just started where,
if we took, you can't take nothing from these people, bruh. How you going to take anything from them? Bruh, these people are stopping ships in the middle of the ocean. They're stealing ships in the middle of the ocean. They're poisoning people. Yo, they got people working 3-4 jobs. You talking about you're gonna make them do what? Yo, what you're saying makes absolutely no sense. But you're supposed to be the intellectual. Go ahead, finish your thought, Jared.
We are now. If we took the 3 major streaming platforms, Spotify, Google, Apple Music, and any of the other ones, whatever, and then if we took
what? Yo, he make me this. I don't even want to listen to him no more. What we taking, Jared? You can't make this.
Wait, did he not get the news about the monopoly and Netflix buying up everything? Like, what is he talking about?
Yo, but he said it.
It's going to be one company.
Yo, he just said, like, you can't do nothing with these institutions. He just said it. But then he's saying, like, we should appeal to these institutions for remedy.
Warner, Sony, and Universal Music owned the 3 dominant labels that own almost all of the music, and we said all of the revenue that all of you all end up with, all of the net profits that you all end up with equate to however many billions, and just start slicing off percentages from that.
Who gonna slice them percentages? What are you talking about? And this is where we split. Because he could understand you can't deal with these institutions, you can't trust these institutions, all the people that participate in these institutions. I think that's what he's about to say now, are all basically plants.
Mick Jenkins is dope, talented MC, cares about lyricism, is no dummy, and has created a career for himself that sounds, to be perfectly honest, on a personal level, a little bit envy-inspiring. In terms of his ability to, seems like, make a little bit of money, travel the world, do what he wants to do, whoop, whoop, whoop. But to my point, and what I think he misses in this interview, and what is often missed in these discussions, is that that's not the point. The point is the management of popularity, public opinion, and celebrity, or rather, the management of celebrity and popularity for the purposes of managing and manipulating public opinion. But I'll come back to that. The link to this full interview is in the...
But, by the way, let me bring that back.
Managing and manipulating public opinion. But for the purposes of managing, or rather, the management of popularity, public...
No, I want you to understand that. I want to bring this back because I want you to get a clear understanding, because he understands. Because people often say, like, nah, they probably don't know Africa. They probably don't understand. But listen to what he said the media is there for.
Is the management of popularity, is that that's not the point. The point is the management of popularity, public opinion, and celebrity.
You heard that? That's what the celebrities are there for. They're being managed. They're being managed to gain our approval, to get us to agree with what is going on, what the government is there doing. That is why these celebrities exist. He understands that. I'm going to shut up and let him talk.
But that's not the point. The point is the management of popularity, public opinion, and celebrity, or rather, the management of celebrity and popularity for the purposes of managing and manipulating public opinion.
That's why celebrities exist. That's what Du Bois said. Du Bois said that in the 1800s. All art is propaganda. All the celebrities are here to make us understand whatever imperialism want us to understand and know. That is the role they serve. And once they violate that role, they will be cast away. They will be isolated. There are no good celebrities, just like there are no good cops. Because if they were good celebrities, if they were good, like if they fought for the people, they wouldn't have the space that they have. And that's what he's saying. But yet he believes the only way we deal with our circumstances is by going to go get these people that control these celebrities to do what we want them to do. I disagree with that. I fundamentally disagree with that. I think that is crazy. Where is he at? I think it's the last one.
It's plain. So I just wanted to quickly point that out. That I think this is where he builds from a point that I think needs to be parsed out a little bit more and better. That is, how do you develop a following without the push of the industry?
I think if you saw, for real, if you saw 20 artists exclusively drop their music on somewhere else, that would be a problem. Quick.
So again, he's talking about the kind of thing that we often hear in terms of professional sports. If the top NBA players decided to break off and start their own league, it would be a problem. And he's saying here, maybe not the biggest celebrity rap or biggest pop star rappers or artists, but if a number of top artists were to break away from releasing their music on dominant platforms or through industry outlets, that it would become a problem for the industry. That I don't actually agree with, because the popularity that those artists currently have could be easily swapped out through the industry involvement in promoting other artists that it owns. And then those artists that walk away will just be more or less marginalized. And one thing that he doesn't talk about as an example that I think would have been a good one is the last Black Star album, where Talib and Yassine decided to release it through a non-traditional platform, and as good as the album may be, it's going to reach a smaller audience. So they may, and this will come back to in a minute, they may end up making more money in the long run, going, as he talks about, more direct to customer or having a smaller label be involved. But the amount of units sold and the level of popularity reached will be far lower.
To sum all of that up, he's saying that this dude right here, the argument he's making is that if you use your fans, you can sell to your fans. You can sell directly to your fans if you have a fan base. Yo, Jared is saying you're not going to get a fan base like that for you to be able to make enough money unless these major companies, these institutions, these corporations owned by probably the Penguin people, unless they're behind you, helping you, because that's how all these streaming sites, all of this work. If they're not backing you, you're not going to have those people. And then if you do walk away after you got those people that they help you get, you're going to be isolated and you're going to be making money, but like you're really not going to be impacting the culture. You're what you call it? Let me finish this thought. Whatever you're doing, because you're isolated, because you don't have these platforms to be able to reach global, reach everybody. You don't have this big, like Warner Brothers, all of it. You don't have them. You're not going to reach as many people. So you may, because you have all this following, you may be able to make some money, but you're not really going to be famous no more because they're going to isolate you. That's the argument that he's making. Now I come in on what you call it, on the whole opposite side. Yo, if those 20, let's say, best basketball players or 20 or best musicians build institutions that will support what they're doing and the people that's coming after them, they start to build institutions in the community to support what they're doing, they're going to get that support. They're going to have institutions that produces minds, that produces people that go ahead and buy their product. But they're not talking about building institutions. Because like building institutions mean you got to put up your own bread. You got to put your skin in the game. You got to love the people so much that your craft, what you're doing, is for the people. Because remember, he's talking about revolutionaries, people that want to leave, like Talib Kweli, Mos Def, all these people, because they're supposed to be like revolutionary thinking. These people are not thinking about building institutions. Jared Ball is not talking about building institutions. He's talking about these people just leaving the mainstream and then starting their own thing and using their popularity to try to get money from the people to sustain them. That's what Mike Jenkins is talking about. Mike Jenkins is not talking about them 20 or whatever most famous people in the world using the resources that they've gained already to build institutions. Because they're probably going to get killed. They're probably going to come after them. Imperialism is going to come after them if they start doing all that. That's what they think in their mind. Imperialism is going to come after them. They don't want to take that chance. They don't want to risk it. So they're going to do what they've been doing. I mean, and that's the other side of the argument. That's the argument where Jared Ball don't want to go to. I've explained this to Jared Ball already. Nobody's saying individual person, go do this, go do that. No. It has to be an organized group of people that build these institutions in the community to be able to carry this on from generation to generation where there's institutional memory. But if Mike Jenkins go by himself and he go do whatever he's doing and he sell whatever he's selling just for himself, and he hoping that the people that know him will pay $1,000 to buy his merch, to support his music, to support him. But that's not doing nothing for the people. I'm sorry, Mike Jenkins, but your music ain't liberating nobody. Institutions liberate people. We're not here to fund you and make you rich. We're not here to get gentrified in our communities so you can own the buildings. Like the rappers are doing in Newark now. They're coming in, they're being part of the slumlord class. You see, but they're making money, so everything's supposed to be cool because them and their family making money. But all the people they're throwing out into the streets, it doesn't matter. Yo, who wanted to say something?
This is Mayfier.
Hey,
I was just going to speak. Peace, man. I was just going to speak on behalf of what he was mentioning about like the labels and stuff like that. And I'm like, I know Tory Lanez is not much of a liberation speaker, but he had a similar situation to where he sold his NFTs for $1 each, and he made his own platform of selling music. And they kind of threw him behind the jail cell for that. So I was piggybacking off basically just we would have to create our own like system as far as not dealing with labels and the hierarchy.
Yo, but you know what I'm mad at, bro? You know what? I'm mad at you, bro.
What happened?
Hey, yo, next week when you come back, man, I want you to be on the screen. I want to cut these conversations up and I want to post them. Yo, I want everybody else here to speak. I don't want to be the only one talking. Yo, I've been talking since 12 o'clock. I mean, I don't want this to be Africa speaking to everybody. I want this to be where we come to have these conversations. Yo, what you just said was very insightful. People don't understand that. They don't know what's going on with Tory Lanez. They don't know, like, the background of everything. I mean, but, like, yeah, but next time when you speak and put your camera on so we could cut this thing up and post it out there. And I'm saying that to everybody. And I want everybody's opinion. The General Secretary, hey, General Secretary, you want to talk about the last thing?
Yeah.
You see the time, right?
Yeah.
What you want me to do? You want me to play it?
I'm going to give a little intro. So, a couple of weeks ago, some residents of Newark came to a meeting regarding Valentine. It's a building called Valentine in Newark. They're petitioning the developers in Slumlord is petitioning the city and the state to build on this property, to build more of the property. So before they could do that, they're supposed to have a community meeting. They had this community meeting online. It was terribly ran. You couldn't hardly hear the speaker and understand what they were saying. And you're just going to hear from the people talk about this meeting and even the project itself and why the people don't want this project. So you can go ahead and play it, Chairman.
And I want you to listen. Because this has something to do with Du Bois. When he's talking about the system, all we got to do is just go in there, we go and work hard. We're like going back to the movie, that clip from the movie, go into the system and work real hard Ain't none of this about working hard. All the way down to the local level, everything is a hustle. It's all a scam. Nobody's held accountable. You can't hold none of these people accountable. They have these meetings where they come in the community and they say they're having a meeting for the community to speak up and say what they're gonna say about about whatever developer is coming in, whoever's coming to do whatever. The people come up there and speak, but the people go speak. They let them speak, and they go on and do what they're gonna do anyway. These are all formalities. So you hear people. You hear this middle class people, this middle management, this intellectuals. Every time you hear them on TV, they be like, all politics is local. Get involved locally. You can change things locally. Local politics is more corrupt than federal. There ain't no eyes on this local politician bullying the community. There's nobody to hold them accountable. They buy up the fake activists in the community. They pay these people off, and they have these people turning against the residents. They say they're speaking for the people. While the people are suffering outside in the cold, begging for money, standing out on every corner you go to in North, people outside begging. People are homeless. These people having concerts. They're buying cigar lounges. They're running around with Gucci outfits at concerts with celebrities, giving away awards to celebrities, while the residents in Newark are making about $30,000 and the rent is $2,500. Do the math. Do the math. How can you afford to survive? How can you afford to be here? But these people are talking about this Newark this, Newark that. We're doing this for Newark. We have a class issue here. And I'm going to play the video and listen to what the people are saying. Listen to what the residents are saying.
We definitely need to be honest about the realities of phase one. Your phase one project right now is less than 50% occupied. And the residents that we've spoken to there are already raising concerns that it's falling apart. That alone.
Stop right there, Chairman.
Fundamentally off.
So she says phase one. So this is a maybe 2, 3, 4 phase project. I don't know. But the first phase, the tenants is already complaining about the conditions. Yet this slumlord and developer wants to continue on to phase 2 without addressing the issues that are happening in phase 1. Because again, they don't care about the conditions that these tenants are living in. All they want to do is build more units and charge market rent, because eventually they're going to get rid of those residents that are complaining about the conditions that they're living in.
Keep going.
Yes, please.
With that project, period. So starting with phase 2 without addressing these issues isn't responsible planning. It's just repeating the same mistakes while ignoring the people who actually live there. If phase 1 is a stable, safe, and fully occupied, then expanding this project doesn't benefit the community. It just stretches resources thinner and leaves existing residents with more broken promises. And to me, that makes it seem as though the next set of residents for phase 2 are going to face the same injustice. I think before any expansion, we need to be fully transparent about why phase 1 is struggling and actually fix those issues. Plan to address any maintenance and safety and quality issues. I mean, we just opened up that sidewalk maybe a few months ago, and it just surprises me, and I'm appalled. It shouldn't be that it's already the building is already deteriorating. The community input. We should really focus on what the community is inputting. Everyone has said the presentation. Honestly, I couldn't hear it. I think folks who don't speak English deserve translation and not for you to call someone and say, hey, this is what was said at the meeting. It doesn't give the people an opportunity to actually ask questions based on what folks are already addressing or asking. I think we need to go back to the drawing board with this presentation, actually be a little bit more respectful to the community, to myself. I still live in this neighborhood. I honestly can't afford the prices you mentioned. And I think we all as a community deserve a lot better than what you're offering. I know you feel and you think that what you're saying and doing might be the best for all of us, but in all honesty, we're speaking up and we're letting you know it's not. You all have the resources to build more. Use it to include the people at the bare minimum in meetings like this. And that means bringing better audio equipment so that we can all understand what you're saying. Because everything was muffled. I think at this point, that's pretty much what I have to say. Listen to the community. Daniel has said it.
You can stop it right there, because what the other people are going to say is basically piggyback off of what she said, but she encapsulated that whole meeting. The presentation was poor because, again, they're just going through the motions. They're not there to convince the people of anything because they know their project is going to get going to get passed because they know who they donated to, the people that's going to vote on this project, the state, the city, the government. All these people are going to support their project. It's already written. The document's been signed. The contract's been executed. They are just going through the formality to say they had a community meeting. But as the sister said, it was poorly ran. You couldn't hear what they was talking about. They couldn't answer the questions the community had. When she asked them about phase 1, like how can you move on to phase 2 if you're not handling the situation with the residents in phase 1, they didn't have an answer for that. Because again, their purpose was not to provide answers. They were just to check off this box. We had our meeting and we can move on to the next phase to go ahead to build this project.
All power to the people. Like, let me show you something. Let me take this back. Let me go. The reason why we play our intro is for a reason. Do I have that intro in here? I don't. Do I have our?
It's after the holiday thing. It's the
No,
next.
I think it's right here.
Greetings. Whenever they lose something, or
let me see.
Educate Not Free as Panther.
Right here. Like this is our council meeting. This, as Black Panthers, this is our council meeting that we have. That we bring the community in and we talk to the community and try to see how we can solve the issues in our community. And most people tell you, if you're dealing with issues in the community, you should go down to City Hall. You should go to the council meeting. There's people that still go to the council meetings that have been going for generations. You go inside those meetings, they talk to you, and they do exactly what the sister said that these people do. They just say next. They don't answer no question. They're not there to help you. In fact, if they're upset with you, they'll get the police to lock you up. That's what happens when you go to their council meetings. And then they sit behind glass walls while the people are all on the bottom. And then they're looking down at the people as if they're better than the people. And all these people are making over six figures. While the average North resident is making about $30,000 being conned. 35, 30,000, which means you can't afford nothing in North. That's the people they tell you to go to. They say go to your local politicians, your councilmen. Hold your councilmen accountable. All these people are corrupt. They're all bought and paid for. That's why we have our own council meetings. They say, what do you do? Malcolm said you must separate. Separate from these people, from this government, and build your own institutions. Build your own schools. King said the same thing. King said, don't even buy Wonder Bread no more. We can't no more patronize these companies. We have to start our own black companies. That's what King said. But we're in 2025.
May I say something?
Yeah, 1 second. Yes, you may, but 1 second. But we're in 2025. Whatever community you're in, you start to organize in that community. Organize the people in that community. Start to buy up the industries in that community. That's our only solution. We work from community to community together to be able to build institutions that serve us. So what do I mean by that? As Panthers, we believe in dual contending powers. What do I mean by dual contending powers? If you live in North, let's say you have a West Side right here. That's for the government. We have to build the People's High School over here. We have to build it. Not wait for the government to do it, but the people do it. We build the People's High School, and we let those two powers contend. How are we going to educate our children, and how is the government going to try to educate them? And who are the children? Where are the people going to send their children? If you build an institution that's here to take care of the people will send their children there. Our problem is we don't build those institutions. We keep telling our children to go into the Navy, go into the Marine Corps, go into their institutions to try to find their way in their institutions. And that's what we've been doing since the 1800s, 1700s. It's time to change. You want to change what's going on in our communities? You must change the philosophy and strategy. Our strategy can no longer be assimilation. Assimilation is proving to be a failure. So if everybody that was there on Friday want to know how we change our condition, we have to organize together to build institutions in our community. And before you even get there, the first step is education. You must come in and be educated. You must understand who the enemy is. You must humble yourself. Humble yourself to tell yourself, I need this education. I need to read these books to understand who my enemy is and how to defeat them. Most people don't want to humble themselves, but all power to the people. Go ahead, Basil. Talk to me, Basil.
I agree with you 100%. Well, when we begin to look at Black Lives Matter, here's an organization we all truly tried to believe in. I just read an article where I forgot the town. The woman had 3 properties in her name, and there she's indicted. So would you say that institution was set up by our oppressor for us to believe that it would be something?
No, but where did Black Lives Matter come from? Where did Patrisse Cullors come from? Who platformed these people? How did they get to CNN? How did they get to MSNBC? How did they get on all this platform, these universities, to be able to raise all this money? Hey, yo, we've been in the hood, working in our community for over a decade. We've been using our money, working in the community. The community knows us. The mayor knows us. The council people know us. Down to the governor knows us. We ain't get nobody ever said anything. We don't get no credit. We're not platform. We're not put nowhere. Because what we're doing is counter to what they believe. But what did Patrisse Cullors and them do? They went outside and they painted the streets. They painted Black Lives Matter on the street. They painted the street with gay rainbow signs while the people were being kicked out of their homes. While the people are being gentrified, they're out here painting the streets. Where did those ideas come from? What revolutionary ever said that we change the country?
It came from my son and Tamika Mallory, Until Freedom, them group of
those group of people. Go ahead, my bad.
I'm sorry, but guess where my son is at right now?
Working with
Donnie, put him in charge of some justice program. Like he knows anything about, you know what? Go ahead, Chairman.
No, but that's exactly it. Like, these are the people, you watch them, the people that's accepted by mainstream, the people that are working at City Hall, the people that have deals with City Hall, with these politicians. That's the first hint that you shouldn't listen to what they're saying, that they're traitors, they're collaborators. If you're working with the system, you're a collaborator. The system is not going to work with you to overthrow themselves. What are you, crazy? So when you see that, you should know. And Donald Trump standing up there like, yeah, I got a lot of black people that support me. Black people know who scammers are. Yeah, we used to, but we done got full so much. We starting to believe these celebrities, man. Being a groupie is now the cool thing to be these days. Like celebrating people you don't know. People that don't care about you, that don't like you. Like people just in love with these people. There used to be some sucker-ish back in the day, but now everybody's a groupie. They all want to be like Jay-Z, well, at a certain age. But yeah, that's what, all of it boils down to what is the mission statement? What are we teaching our children? Do we control these institutions that our children are going to? Because you cannot change their institution. You cannot reform their institution. And what are we going to do? But yeah, man, we almost out of time. But anybody want to chime in? I want y'all to get a few words in, man. Talk to me. What y'all think? Tell me I'm wrong. What am I wrong about? What should we do better? Because everybody was asking on Friday, what should we do? Yo, it's easy. Join an organization fighting for liberation. Find one. Join us. Because that's what we're fighting for. The sister that was here earlier, I'm going to see if we can find her. I think I have her number somewhere. So I'm going to send her the message. On Thursday, we're having a meeting with Comrade Sham. We're going to be having a meeting about opening up businesses in the community. We're coming together to do that. She could come to that meeting. That's where we talk about those kind of issues that she brought up.
Yeah, actually, Chairman, that's my sister.
That's your sister?
Yeah.
All power to the people. See, that's beautiful. I mean, that's what we want. We want this to be a whole family event. Bring your whole family. Exactly. Like my family's involved. Sham, you bring your family. Your family's involved. Sham is bringing his son to the after-school program. I mean, we have after-school program. This programs are for us. We're supposed to utilize this program. People talking about they paying thousands. Hello?
He just joined back on.
Oh, people talking about child care is $1,800, $2,000, $2,500. Hey, yo, we pick the child up to take them to school. We pick them up after school. We help them with their homework. We do the after-school program. They want a box. They got a box. We teach them out the box. We feed them, then take them home. You know how much that costs? $0. The Black Panther Party, we offer that to the community for nothing. We can do that. You don't have to worry about paying for no child care service. The more of us that work together, you come in, all of us, we start to work together. You don't have no job? Good. You're going to come help pick up these children. Instead of paying these people $1,800, $2,500, hey, yo, bring your child. Bring those resources to come help the people in your own community. Let's work together to take care of our own children, to show our children the path forward. I mean, you wanted to say something, Sham?
Yeah, I mean, just speaking forward to that, I mean, from that meeting that we went to on Friday, it was definitely important. And a lot of times when we're able to bring people together, that's the whole purpose of even the entertainment. When you break down entertainment, enter means to go through, tame means the whole, mint is the continuation process. So entertainment is just trying to hold your presence, and we're not just trying to entertain, we're not trying, but I hate that word, trying, inspire and inform so we can maintain to be active. A lot of things has to change, and so the discussions that we talk about with creating institutions and building our own institutions is going to be is radical. And a lot of people are not going to like it. And that's the thing. It's not about whether you like it or not. It's about what works. Our people we worked in patterns of what worked and what did not work. And whether you liked it or not, you're going to, get down, like they say, get down, lay down. And that's the powers that be. That's what I'm not saying the powers, the weaknesses that's what they offer. Get down and lay down mentality. And so, Martin Luther King had an institution. Malcolm X, they had their own institutions. Now, did everybody agree in the ideologies? But that was the threat. You got your own institution. It's hard to combat what you're doing. The Black Panthers of what we doing. It's an institution. They had to combat the different things. Y'all provided food. Y'all provided sustenance. Y'all provided the things that the basic needs, Maslow hierarchy of needs for people. Dang, how we gonna combat that? How we gonna fight?
All power to the people. Nah, but check it. Hey, yo, you hear Sham talking, man. Hey, yo, Sham, you too, bro. You need to get your camera open, man. Not today, but for future shows, keep your camera open, man. But, like, we just graduated, like, 5 or 6 people from this cohort, from our Panther political education classes. We're going to be having another cohort maybe in a month and a half. We're going to start another one. Yo, I don't care how slow it is. Yo, it takes 3 months to go through them classes. I mean, once you graduate from those classes, you understand what we're fighting. You know who the enemy is. You understand we coming to the table to put all our money in together to get institutions so we can be made homeless, to provide for our children. Yo, you join the ranks. So in the next month when we're having this, we should have another, another 6, 7 people graduate. Yo, you continue to build and add on until you have the numbers for you to be able to overthrow the system. You don't wake up one day. All of this is not overnight and say, I'm going to do anything. No, it's systematic. So we go around and somebody said, yo, we have people in our cars. You drop people in your cars and you have an after-school program. That don't mean nothing. That don't do nothing. You feeding people. That don't do nothing. Somebody said that on Friday in front of a whole room full of people. Yo, the reason why we go out into community as Panthers to provide for the community is to organize the community. We're not here to give charity. The children we work with in our education, in our after school program, we're here to organize. But yo, we gotta wrap up. Hey CEO, we gotta wrap up, right?
Go to the first slide. Yes, go to the first slide.
I see CEO here. How you doing, CEO?
Yeah, go to the first slide.
I just sent the flyer for Thursday. If you could promote that to let people know about Thursday, the 18th.
I got you.
All right,
Hold on, General Secretary, you want to talk about for the gifts, right?
Yeah, just please donate to our holiday toy drive. You can send money to our Cash App, Venmo, Zelle, or you can email me. We can also pick up toys, but we need toys to give out to the community. So please, if you can help in that.
Go ahead, what?
When Chairman does Sham, go ahead and do the shout out what you just said. You put the flyer out for.
Yeah, where's the flyer? You got the flyer?
I have the flyer, but I can't put it up on the screen
now.
But just quickly tell them about it.
Oh, okay. On Thursday at 8 p.m., get in touch with us. Send us a message. I don't know, flyer pigeon. Send a picture.
Thursday at 6 p.m., the 18th, we're going to have a cooperative community hub for wellness and culture and economic empowerment meeting for the Panther Hub. So the purpose is to build a Panther-led space with wellness, creativity, entrepreneurship, and community development. So first is always is community, second is profit, and third is movement.
All power to the people. All power to the people. Mic check. You got to go, right?
Chairman, and Sister Patience, wonderful. I got on a little late. You guys can always take your show to 2:45. The next show's not coming on at 3. So you got time. It's up to you, brother.
Oh, man, okay. Well, we're going to ride out then, man. We're going to ride out. Hey, look, man. All power to the people. Hey, check this out. Every year. Yo, look, man, I don't celebrate Christmas, man. I'm keeping it a buck with you. We don't really celebrate the holidays like that. We don't celebrate Thanksgiving. But, yo, the people in the community, you got to meet the people where they at. Yo, people want to eat. Families come together on Thanksgiving. Yo, we provide food. We provide turkeys. We give food to the people. Remember, we're trying to build bonds with those families. Yo, it's the holidays. It's Christmas time. Yo, for the last couple of years, we go out and we give out gifts to the children in the community, the ones that are less fortunate. Yo, if you want to help out, that's how you can help out. You can help out by donating toys. Yo, you can go to Five Below. They even got drones and all kinds of stuff at Five Below. You go out there, you get some gifts, you call, we'll go pick them gifts up. I mean, all you want to do it easy, you just send the bread. Yo, we're going to go to Five Below, we're going to rack up. We've been racking up for a couple of weeks now. I mean, so these children, you should see their faces. Let me play the video. This is the little homie right here. Last year, look what he got.
What else you getting? What else? Get you done. Oh, bike.
Oh, a bike.
That's nothing.
But that's the little homie Zayar. I mean, you see how happy he is? I mean, we go around, we take the gifts, and we give it to them. Hey, yo, if nobody donate, man, I'm going to say it again, man. Hey, yo, we pay for it ourselves because we understand the importance of organizing our communities. But we can't do it ourselves. We know how much skin we got in the game, how much work we put in. Yo, even this show takes time to do. The General Secretary got it. Yo, y'all heard the person that spoke, that read the book, that read the stuff from Du Bois? That's the General Secretary. She got to go to work from 7 in the morning. She don't get home till 7 at night. She still put in work to put the shows together to do all this stuff for us, aside from the housing program and all these different programs. But we work, man. We always working. If you want to help out, we really need the help. The community need the help. Yo, they go to Venmo, the Zelle, everything is up there. But and if you have them, if you have the toys, even if you have clothes, old clothes that you want to give away, yo, we're going to come give those clothes away. We're going to come get it, and we're going to give it to people that need it. I mean,
sorry, Kevin, it's a typo on there. It was 54, but we had a technical difficulty. It's 862-283-9917.
Oh my God! It's always a typo. It's always a typo. Yeah. Hold up. It's always a typo. It's all right. Hold up. I got it. Yo, it's 862. You see right? It say 863. It's 862-283-9917. 862-283-9917. I mean, and the Cash App is $ I live for the people. But yeah, Christmas is coming up, what, a week and a half from now? We drive around to the communities. And if you, see, that's another one I almost forgot. If you have anybody that you think we should donate to, we should take the gifts to, any children. Give us the name and the address. We just go ring the doorbell, take the gift to the door and give it to them. We the Santas. I mean, we the Santas out here. Like we said, we do this community to community. And in Plainfield, Comrade Jack is going to be in Plainfield doing the same thing. And I think this year he keep bringing it to Newark too. He coming over there by 13th Avenue. I mean, our comrade up in Plainfield, Jack, he's going to be coming to Newark. Well, he's from Newark anyway. He just live in Plainfield now. He do work in Plainfield. That's the one. Where he at? Let me show you who Jack is. Let me show you who Jack is. Where Jack at? This is Jack right here. Right there. That's the homie Jack right there. That's him standing right there. That's him leading the council meeting right there. That's in Plainfield, where we had that meeting at, where the residents came out to tell us what's going on. But yeah, he do the same work we do in Newark out there. Wherever you are, you can do the same work there. We will help you. We will help support you. I mean, like I said, he coming over here in Newark. I think he coming next week to give away the gifts. I think it's next Friday he's supposed to be pulling up. But we could pull up.
Chairman, do you celebrate Kwanzaa?
I don't celebrate nothing.
Okay.
Except for the people.
Okay, no worries. Just wanted to know.
Yeah. But I went to the Kwanzaa event at Essex County on Friday. I went to Dr. Calfani had the event over there at Essex County. I went to the Kwanzaa event. We celebrate the people. If you want to help us to help these children, hit the Cash App, the Venmo, anything. So
I definitely will. I thought maybe you had a Kwanzaa thing, but no worries. You celebrate the people, and that's even better.
All power to the people. All power to the people. But General Secretary, you got anything? Hello? Oh, okay. Now, anybody else? Anybody else want to chime in real quick before we go? Anybody got any announcements? Hey, yo, Sham, say that Thursday event again.
Hey, peace and blessings.
Oh, peace and blessings. Hold on. Oh, what's up, little bro?
He wanted to say something to y'all real quick. Go. All power to the people.
All power to the people.
All power to the people, little comrade. Hey, yo, look. Hey, Muta, don't go nowhere.
All right, I ain't going nowhere. I'm here.
Your screen freezing a little bit, but look at Muta. He was just here on Friday. I told y'all he had that meeting on Friday. Already got on the plane, had to go see his family. People out here working, man. You ain't never gonna see. You don't see Muta on TV. They're not calling Muta to go work down in City Hall. The real revolutionaries out here are not being called by these people to do anything because they know we're real revolutionaries. Like the comrade is right there. Friday, he just had that meeting where all those people came together to find out how to solve the issues in Newark. And then I called him back like a few hours later. He had to get on the plane to go see his family. People put a lot, man. People put a lot on the line. People sacrifice a lot, man. And I see you, Move. You heard me? I see you, Muta.
It's always love, brothers. Always love.
All power to the people. Till next time, I live for the people. I die for the people. All right, there we go. How you?